Trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Making a transition. I'm on a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transitioning my life. On a mission,
I'm challenging you today to support the National Black Farmers Association. I was the first Black advocate to stand up against the DEI cuts or tractor supply. John did. If you don't believe me, check it out for yourself. You need to rise up and speak out now, not later, because if we don't, they're going to continue to take this country down a pathway that is going to take decades to get away from. My name is John Board, founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association. I'm coming to Washington, D.C., February 5th, people. Board versus the USA. My case addresses what they call in today DEI. Yes, I'm looking for $5 billion in debt relief, and I'm asking the Federal Court of Appeals to reverse the decision and grant 17,000 Black and other farmers of color 120% debt relief. I don't care what they say. I'm not going to stop fighting, and you should not stop fighting in this country. Stand up, and stand up now.
Wow. What in the world? So that was from February.
Yeah, that's last. That was the last part. And what we're gonna do now, Queen, I want to hear from Jamie because Jamie's, I guess, Jamie, introduce yourself, and then we're gonna get this thing started because that ain't scratch the surface. I was talking earlier. That don't even scratch the surface, and it's a crying shame. We had 16 million acres of land at one time. We're down to almost less than 2 million. 48,000 Black farmers. He's gonna represent a part of it, and we're gonna let people know how this illegal immigration has not only affected, but it affected the thing. A lot of the money we get, who benefited the most from it. It sure wasn't the Black farmers. So we gotta, like you said, we gotta stand up. We gotta stand up now. That's why today, on the principle we file is apply to the Black farmer, and our immigration affected the Black farmer. We talk about everything, but how it affected the 5 major things that makes up a community. That is food, shelter, you understand, so forth and so on. And this illegal immigration has affected all 5 levels. Not only that immigration, but also integration have destroyed the fabric of the Black family. Before I get started and get my mouth to run, and we're gonna start a whole lot of these, I've got a special guest that lives right down the street. He's farming about 2,300 acres. And my good friend is Jamie Davis of Davis Enterprise and Farming. Brother Jamie Davis, give us a little bit about yourself and tell the people what the real deal in Louisiana. This is just Louisiana.
A lot for you, my brother. How are you today?
A lot for you, things in divine order.
Yes, that is so beautiful. My name is James Davis Jr., but everybody calls me Jamie. Jamie was a given name to me by my family because my father was James Sr., and a lot of times when they would say James, both of us would answer, So the family started calling me Jamie, and it just stuck. But yes, we are 20, somewhere close to 2,400 acres of row crop. We grow cotton, corn, and soybeans, and 20. We grow various crops. But in 2025, we're growing cotton, corn, and soybeans. We corn heavy this year because the corn commodity prices were more attractive than cotton and soybeans. So we have more acres in corn this year than we do in cotton and soybeans. But to tell you a little bit about what this immigration thing has done for me personally as a black farmer, it hasn't done anything to me because I work people that look like me.
Right.
All of my workers and all of the workers that work on my farm, they all look like me, and most of them are just black guys. Now, some of my neighboring farms that are big farms, they do have. Sometimes they have Hispanic workers come in, and sometimes they have Caucasian white South Africans come in to work on some of those farms. But those farms work like tens and thousands of acres to where they are big, giant farms. My farm is not that big compared to some of those other farms, but we just a little old family farm in Tensall Parish, a little town called Waterproof. And my parents started with a dream and aspiration in 1977. They actually put their dreams into effect and started our family farm, and it's just been growing ever since.
Okay, you said something, and I wanted the queen catch it. You say we had some white South Africans poor coming in and farming. Did you
Yes,
just say
there are a few farms around that has white South Africans that get green cards and come work on these farms through during the farm season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. White South Africans.
And I know here in Tallulah, we're known for sweet potato because Dawson Farm and Golden Farm, they bring anywhere from 300 and they house them in an old nursing home. And they got about 2 or 3 school buses that picks them up and takes them out to these farms over here in Dale High. And we're known for sweet potato, not yams, sweet potatoes. And
sweet potato.
And I know how it has grown. So what we're saying now is that the fact that this immigration, all right, look at that, all right, immigration have affected because we didn't recognize the black farmer was going through so much till we started doing the research. And
Right.
the queen and I were talking, and I was telling you, and you said, Reading, I keep black folks. I don't have that problem. But a lot of white farmers, they're able to get cheap labor. Therefore, they're able to do more because they're playing the South, North and South Civil War game. You understand? And then they want to complain about these folks. But they're taking not just the job, they're dropping the food price. Everything we're getting is shipped in from overseas, from other countries, because we're up against it. And they're killing us through the food because a lot of food we're getting is imported. I think it's 80 to 85% of the vegetables that we get comes in from import. Your avocados and a lot of, and not only that, seafood. But Jamie, your thing is cotton, corn, and soybean. China.
Yes, that's
okay. The China, I know
Yeah,
one part. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well. Now, what I was going to say is one other thing that and I know the topic is immigration, but one thing that has hurt my farm personally, that's a part of what he is doing, is the tariffs. I know
Right.
our show tonight is on immigration, but
Talk about all of it, bro. Hey,
Yeah,
no limit. No limit.
Yeah. Tariffs is what's affecting us because our commodity prices hasn't moved. They kind of the analyst calls it they moving sideways. And it took me a while to understand what sideways means. When the commodity markets move sideways, that basically means that it's going up a nickel and down a nickel and maybe down another nickel, but it's basically staying in the same spot. But it's just going up and down, kind of like your heartbeat. You know, it might beat up and then a beat go down, beat up and go down, but it's still staying in the same place. And that the term trading sideways mean. Basically mean that, like, for instance, where the corn prices has been, it's been ranging somewhere right between $4 and $4.10, and it has stayed in that range for 6 months almost. You know, I won't say that it may not jump up to $4.15 one day, and it may even fall to $3.85. But when it settles back, it's right around $4 to $4 and a nickel. And
I have a quick question about this, like seed wise. Do you get your seeds from Monsanto or China, or where did your seeds come from? From your thing, or do you harvest your own seeds?
No,
or I heard there was something like Monsanto made it so that the seeds only are able to be viable for 1 year, and then you have to like keep buying seeds from them.
Yeah, you have to now here it is. If you want to go back and use heirloom seed, you can, and you can keep those. But if you want to use the seed that, like, the university that they have done research on and solid research data, then you're going to buy the seed from the manufacturers, which are like Bayer and, like you said, Syngenta and Pioneer and those companies like that. Now, like I said, if you want to buy heirloom seed, you can do what you want with heirloom seed. But any of that seed that's trademarked with a brand name, you got to sell that seed to a buyer. And you cannot keep it for replanting. You can hold on to it to sell to the market later on as long as you want. But you can't go to the bin and say, well, I'm just going to, just say, for instance, if I decided to save a truckload of seed, I can't save a truckload of seed and then go to the field and plant it the next year if I've bought trademark seed. It's against the contract that I signed when I agreed to buy it. See, that's where they get you at. You have to sign a trademark contract whenever you request to purchase the seed.
Barbara, you're muted.
Thank you. Yeah, I know, because I've dealt with some else, and I know what some farmers have been sued because what they called it was pirating the seeds, and they was using them again, and it was not being cleared through the original purchase, and they got sued and lost a lot behind it. And I was talking to James, so if you got Monsanto, you got to deal with Monsanto.
And how do you even know that the seed is being reused or not? Is it because you don't come back and buy more? How do they know if you use it again or not?
They got inspectors that come out.
Well, okay, so there are ways of tracking, and I'm not at liberty to say how they would do it, but let me explain to you like this. If you are a legitimate farmer and you use all of the tools that has been set out for farmers to use, such as the USDA office and Farm Services Agency. So when I go to buy crop insurance, I'll tell my insurance agent what I think I'm gonna plant for this season and how many acres I think of this I'll plant, how many acres of corn I think I'll plant, and how many acres of cotton that I'll plant. Now, when I tell him that, it don't have to be 100% accurate, because all he wants to do is get a So some numbers on an insurance application, and your insurance, excuse me, your insurance is not certified until you go to the USDA office and certify the acres that you planted. So when you go by the USDA office and certify your crop acreage, that will tell you and tell the government that you participating in the USDA programs and how many acres that you got planted. Now, if they have a seed police that they gonna go and check to see did James buy enough seed to plant his acreage, then all they got to do is research, and they're gonna do research because, like, when you buy and trademark seed, it's no different than buying a new car. If you buy a new car, it comes with a warranty. And so when you buy seed, that seed is guaranteed to germinate at a certain rate. And if it don't, then the seed company will guarantee you some seed back through either one way is they will credit your seed account monies for you having to buy more, or they'll just bless you with more seed. So whenever you go to buy seed, there's a way that they can track how much you bought. But they can just do research and call through the seed companies that you purchased through. Hey, how much seed did you sell? How much of this did this one buy? How much did that one buy? And that, if they want to get technical with it, there is ways that they can get technical with it.
I have a question to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know, because I'm really honestly trying to understand. I know that you said that the biggest problem that you're having because you're a small farmer is the tariff. But let me ask you, with the overall situation of farming right now, the tariff is a problem. Is just the tariff stopping you from growing? Like with everything that's growing?
No, the tariffs don't stop me from growing.
Right. So what would it be right now that's stopping you from growing? Like, is there things that's stopping your farm from growing?
Oh, you mean like the size of my farm?
Like growing, like to expand the business, like the things that you need. Like I'm sure that a lot of farmers are being cut down because, such as yourself, are you getting government contracts? Is it important to have a government contract? What is it about your farm that's not allowing you to grow to the capability of a bigger farm? Like, what is it?
Black folks don't own enough land. We don't have the land. So let me explain to you. Let me tell you just a little story. Now, like, this is just a story, but it's the truth. It's not a fable. I've been farming for 30 years myself. My dad started in 77. My first crop was in 1990. I haven't gotten no land increase from white-owned land maybe 10 years, 10, 15 years. And when you end up being able to rent some white land to be able to expand your farm, it's simply because the white boy next to it didn't want it. It's something wrong with it. You may have to do some work to it. It don't have a good yield history. It has bad drainage and got a mud hole over there that it was just too much of a mud hole that the other guy didn't want to try to fix it. But we don't own land no more. Now, I farm 2,400 acres. I don't know the exact number because I don't have the paperwork sitting in front of me. But I farm that much land, but the bulk of it is owned by Black people, including myself. My family, me and my siblings, we inherited 480 acres from our parents. And I own myself personally 230 acres. But I said that to say this. We don't own land no more.
Why?
Because the white folks done bought it all and they don't make no more. You don't make land like you can make Kool-Aid.
So how do the Chinese come in and own land?
Because they got that green stuff that they call money.
So I got a question for you, because I'm trying to really understand it for me. So you're saying that you're not able to purchase land?
No. You can purchase land. You can purchase it, but you ain't gonna purchase it at a price that a farmer can actually buy it and pay for it with the farm.
Okay,
You're gonna have to pay for it with, like, you done hit it big. What I'm saying is, to buy land, you can't buy it, farm it, and pay for it.
So right there, I guess what I'm trying to get at is to see where the disconnect. I'm the type of person, I like to get to the disconnection of things.
No, there's no disconnection. I understand exactly what you're saying, 100%. But I need you to listen to me. What I'm saying is, when you see farmland for sale, the people are trying to make a come up, and they said, okay, so this is what screwed it up. So USDA created a program that was called Wetland Reserve. And then they created another program called Conservation Reserve. And they have the acronym WRP and CRP. And what those programs did was, it basically made it to where if a farmer had farmland that wasn't really productive, the government would basically pay you money to put it back into trees.
Right.
And when you put it back in the trees, they would pay you for 15 years. That program was intended for farmers. But what ended up happening was, these rich investors, like the lawyer that lives in some big city that loves to deer hunt and loves to duck hunt, or always wanted a pond on some property of his, he'll come to the country or to the rural areas, buy him some farmland, put it in the CRP, and basically put it in trees, and the government will pay this rich man to own some woods to do, and it's like his little, it'll be kind of like his little Mar-a-Lago, more or less. Mm-hmm. And basically what then took place is the CRP program has basically overpriced farmland. Whereas you cannot go and just pay an honest dollar. You would think that a person that's farming could go buy a piece of farmland and pay for it by farming it. It's not enough money in farming to buy the land, pay a note, and farm. There's not enough money to do all that.
That's what I was trying to ask. When I said disconnect, I was trying to say, what would be the disconnect of you being able to purchase the land? So do you think is that they have priced the land so much so that farmers such as yourself can't purchase it?
You can't. Okay, so one or two things need to happen. The commodity prices need to go up. And I mean go up. And let me give you an example on commodity prices. If you look at the commodity prices on the New York Board of Trade, cotton futures for the month of December is probably somewhere, I haven't looked today, it's probably somewhere between 68 to 67 cents. When I started farming in 1990, cotton was selling for 68 to 70 cents. How much in 1990 was a pair of Levi jeans, y'all? And how much is a pair of Levi jeans right now?
Right.
And we still making them same Levi jeans with that same bale of cotton. So if the price of cotton hadn't gone up, the price of the jeans shouldn't have gone up, right? Because that's what it takes to make the jeans. So why does the jeans go up but the cotton don't? The cotton, when you buying raw cotton, you can still buy raw cotton for what it sold for in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 50s. My father, when he was a kid working with his dad on the farm, they were selling cotton for 60 cents. So what I'm saying is the commodity prices are not matching today's time.
So can I
cotton
ask you?
should be selling for way over $1.
Exactly.
Wow.
Understand? So you know what I want to ask you is that just in the black farmer side of it, or is that all around?
No. Even the good old boys got to deal with that 68 cents.
Okay, so right
But
there.
here's what the good old boys got. The good old boys, they able to reach out to Calvin Klein or Louis Vuitton or maybe even Pink and get contracts to where, you know, they want to sell direct. Because just say, for instance, the garment factory might want to know, where did this cotton come from? And they want to track that cotton from the field to the jeans, to put them in jeans. Well, then that's when they'll partner with a farm. You know, I have so bad wanted to partner with, you know, like a garment factory, to be able to say, hey, let me produce the cotton for you, so you will know where your cotton came from. At any time, you can pull up to the field and say, that's the cotton right there we're going to make jeans out of next year. You know, I think that would be a great marketing tool for everybody.
So that's where I'm going back to a part of a disconnect. So a part of a disconnect that I'm hearing is you're saying that the contracts, you don't have access to the same contracts and things that you're basically saying the good old boys have access to. Because I
have heard of some farmers, you know, getting to be able to sell some things personal to some companies. Like, you know, every now and then Kellogg's will put a run out and want just corn. And they'll go out and buy corn directly from farmers. Well, you know who hear about those contracts last.
So when I was saying where to disconnect that's where I'm hitting at on the side from there, because I understand the tariffs. And when I was mentioning the contracts earlier, I wanted to know, what is it? So you can expand. So when I was talking about expansion, not necessarily in land, with expanding a business. So if you had certain contracts, you would be able to expand your business, which would also force you to be able to expand to even try to purchase more land.
Yes.
That's what I'm
But Queen, let me say this to you. When you purchase land, you need to have long contracts as long as the mortgage is on that land. You know, you wouldn't want to go out and get a contract that may be a 3-year contract and it takes you 5 years to pay for some land. Because in 2 years, when the 3-year contract you got up, somebody gonna have to come up with some money to pay that note.
Correct.
Because I can promise you, at these commodity prices, the extra money is not there.
I have a question. I have a really quick question. So the tariffs that are happening right now, like you have places like Temu and different companies that are probably selling seeds at pennies on the dollar. You got Amazon, etc., that's selling seed. You have all these different, like, community gardens and this, that, the other, that are probably like, doing their own thing. How is the current tariffs that like, okay, when you have like China now, where it's like they can't import their vegetables, is it making your commodity more effective, or just is it being kind of overrun?
Okay, so let me explain something to you a little bit. So, like, whenever we bring in something from China don't pay the tariff. We do.
Whoa.
What?
Yes. Whenever, like, for instance, he putting those tariffs on stuff coming from China, they not paying for it. We pay for it.
What?
Yes. Yes.
So why is it that they're not paying?
Okay. Just think about, you got to go back and listen to what he says. I'm putting tariffs on all of the things that China imports to America.
Right. So if you're buying something from China, you got to pay an extra amount to get the thing from China.
That's exactly right.
At some point, where black China,
vice versa. So, like, whenever we send, like, that's why I'm having troubles with cotton contracts or corn contracts or soybean contracts, because when we put tariffs on our goods that's going to go to China, well, that means China has to pay the tariffs when they receive the goods, right? So why would they buy corn from America when Trump has put a tariff on our corn when they can buy it from Argentina and it don't have a tariff, or Australia or Brazil, and they don't have a tariff? And that's why you see American goods just sitting in the port, not moving.
Wow.
So
see, that's the part of it that they will not break down on TV for people to truly get an understanding of it.
okay.
All right, takes two.
Crazy.
You already know up to
So that means that you get all these like products, all this corn and everything like that you normally would have shipped out to China, but then people say, you know what, I'm not buying it because I can't afford
to bring it on the port.
Right. So let's make it real. Somebody do me a favor, because I am driving and I'm not able to drive and pull a calculator. Tell me when you're ready. Somebody, please help me.
Go ahead.
All right. Right now, probably starting in 2 weeks, I have 1,100 acres of corn to harvest. And I'm looking at averaging somewhere around 180 bushels per acre. So multiply 1,100 acres times 180 bushels per acre. How many bushels does that equal to? Ought to be close to 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it?
198. Yep.
198,000. So now I'm gonna make this live for Pop, because he used to be in the trucking business before he retired. 198,000 bushels is basically 198 big trucks that Pop would have to take and haul loads back and forth to the port. So when you see a big truck on the highway and he's going down the road and he got one of those long trucks with a load of something in it,
18
me myself personally, I have 198 of them, because normally a truck will haul about 1,000 bushels. Am I right, Pop?
That's right on that. That's spot on, bro.
So I'll have 198 of them, which means I've almost got 200,000 bushels. Multiply that by these. That's just me, the little black boy from Waterproof. What about the white guy that's got 10,000 acres?
Yours is nothing compared to theirs, basically.
So where is all of that grain gonna go?
To waste, or so you don't really have access to push your business out the same way.
Now, let me interject this. Remember this: the white boys got the immigrant workers with cheaper labor, so now he's making more money, while the black farmer who do not have that cheap labor is fighting with the big boys. So we got the big fish and the little fish in the big pond trying to survive. That's why we got to find a way to come up with a co-op or coalition so we can be more sustainable in the market, because we need our farmers. All the time we overlook them because we're chasing whoop cookies, but without farmers bringing food and bringing in the commodities, how many textile plants, how much? And that's what China say, we don't need your stuff.
Nope.
We go to Brazil, Venezuela, right. You know, so and then you go to these textile plants, they got cheap labor, they got sweat shops.
Yeah, and Pakistan grows just as much cotton as America grows. Yeah. So they don't have to come to America for cotton. They can get cotton from Pakistan. Like I said, Brazil and Argentina grow as many soybeans and corn as we grow. So they don't have to get it from there. Russia grows wheat. We grow wheat. They don't, I mean, really and truly, we need China. China don't need us.
Wow.
I see my friend Mandingo. Hey, man.
So,
hey, Mandingo, you're unmuted.
Hey, Jamie, are you saying that you're...
Hold on, Mandingo was saying something real quick. Hey, what's up, Mandingo?
Go ahead, Queen. I'm just listening. I don't want to lose her train of thought. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll wait.
No, I didn't have nothing to say. I just now chimed in. But what's the topic?
We're talking about black farmers and the immigration's effect on black farmers, tariffs effect on black farmers, and what we can do to fix it. Because the bottom line is that we have all this produce and surplus, and people are talking about how it's a food shortage, but you have black farmers sitting up there with food, and then like we got to figure out, okay, what do we do? How do we get this food into our homes so that we're not sitting up here reliable on the grocery store and the Walmart and all this other stuff, and we could get this food into our homes. That's what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? How do we get the black farmers together and then maybe create a website or something where you can order like stuff? I don't even know how to even start.
So Jamie, what I was going to ask you, Jamie, is so basically on your end, is the true reality here? You're tapped out with resources to get rid of your freight, pretty much.
Well, no, I can get rid of my corn. It won't be no problem for me to sell my corn. But what I'm saying is what these tariffs have done is made it to where the demand for the corn drives the price. So when you have less of a demand, it drives the price down. When you have more of a demand, it drives the price up. So what I'm saying is if the tariff wasn't there, other countries would probably buy from America.
Got you. So the biggest concern that you have right now is the tariff.
Yes.
So let me ask you, prior to the tariff, did you have any issues?
Well, no, not issues that are affected by politics, like tariffs and immigration. You know, there's nothing that's part of the game. Like, I'll give you an example. In 22, I had probably one of the best crops that I ever had going in 22. But in August, we had more rainfall in August in Louisiana than history. The history of keeping records of weather. That's how much rain we had in Louisiana, which caused a lot of my crops to rot. So ain't nothing I can do about that. That's a Mother Nature situation. The next year, it was droughty. In 23, it was droughty. So in 24, which was an election year, and normally in election years, you already know going into an election year, if you don't have a weather event that causes the prices to go up, the markets is going to be flat. They just basically don't move. They sit in the same spot and wait till after the election. So, and why is it like that? I don't know. But for some reason, the feeling that I get from just living and being a farmer, most farmers that I run into that I have to deal with don't look like me, but they all are conservative. So everything that the feel of it for me is everything that deals with farming seems like it wants to be conservative and wants to fall on the Republican side of the line. But whenever Democrats are in office and run the country, that's when all of the social programs be peaked out. Like, for instance, when we had all of these solar deals, that's through the, Democratic, version. We have, Democrats always have social programs that help people and farmers. Whereas the Republicans, they just want to cut everything. And don't get me wrong, I was raised conservative. I'm not a Republican, but I'm not super progressive either. I'm kind of one of those guys that's straddling the line because that's the life that I live. It's not who I am as a person. It's the life that I live. My business don't allow me to just be loose with my money because I know I got to eat something little today till something big come along tomorrow.
That's right. That's
right. It's just the way, I've had years where I've made almost $500,000 in one crop, and was proud to walk around to say that I was a farmer. And 2 years later, just the farm business of being what it is, I've ate it up because, you know, you don't make a good crop. And if you got some investments to help bail yourself out, that's what you do to bail yourself out. You use what you done put up, because that's just kind of the way my dad raised me. So you always better have something stored back in the barn, boy, because you never know when you might have a bad crop or the prices might go down. That's that's farm life, period.
When it's weather related there and you lose crops, they don't have programs for you? Because
let me explain that side of it. Okay. And I don't know if you ever heard them talking about the farm bill on TV when they talking politics. Have you ever heard them talking about the farm bill?
Not recalling. Tell me a little bit.
Well, the farm bill. Yeah, the farm bill, we should have had a farm bill now for over like 6-7 years.
Yeah,
Biden I'm talking about before COVID. So you know how life was before COVID, and you know how life was after COVID.
Right.
The farm bill is still pre-COVID.
And things have skyrocketed.
So all of the safety net programs that are involved in the farm bill, all of those are predated or old.
So in your area, when you go through issues like this, who do you have to talk to about it?
No, the best thing I can say is you better either have a good banker or have a great relation with your savior, whoever it is that you may pray to.
There's no resources for farmers when you're collapsing, even though you're the back.
But things have to happen for that to work. So let me give you an example. You have a decent crop, but in that decent crop, and this is real life. I'm telling you real life stories. And I want to say this was 23. I have a decent crop, but in that decent crop, what it don't show in the numbers was that we got a freeze in April that killed like 600 acres of corn that I basically got to totally replant 600 acres of corn. And there's no insurance on that, simply because the way the insurance it works on failing yields. So it don't work on Mother Nature, because Mother Nature killed your corn. You just got to pay and go replant your corn, bottom line.
They should have a natural, that's what it is. Also, they should have insurance available for natural disasters as well. It doesn't make sense because we got natural disaster FEMA for people, and none of that actually applies, Barbara. No, there's no natural disaster. You're on mute. There's no natural disaster coverage.
Right. That's why we got to protect ourselves, because these things that we need to create these things because to do so.
So here was the only thing that helped me out some. The only thing that helped me out some was the fact that I did have a replant extra coverage on my crop insurance. And so
got 12 of them, we just don't do business with them.
See, we got that right there. So if you go at window,
but those 12 black banks that we got, do any of them do ag lending? Because that's a lot of banks, even some of the white banks don't do ag lending.
Right, but there's a bank called I think it's United out of New Orleans. But you got to pull them all up. I did have a list, but I was gonna go there eventually. Mandinko, you got something you want to share? Are you sitting there, my brother?
Yeah, peace and blessings to the family. Thank you, DJ Genesis, Queen 62, Elder, the brother, the farmer is very inspiring to hear that. I just want to read something real quick about the topic because he was saying that during the Biden administration, black farmers face challenges related to the Farm Bill and other agricultural policies. Such issues included historical discrimination. U.S. Department of Agriculture has faced criticism for past discrimination against black farmers, including denying loans, like your brother was saying, and other forms of assistance. Debt relief. The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 included debt relief for socially disadvantaged farmers. However, black farmers implemented of this program has been complex, and some black farmers have faced challenges accessing these benefits. Biden administration has taken steps to address these issues, but I mean, he's out the door. So you know, let me say one more thing, just so people who don't know about the Farm Bill. It's a comprehensive piece of legislation in the United States that governs agriculture, food assistance,
has survived and made it this far, does that mean that you basically, you wasn't discriminated against? Is that the way you would look at it? Or would you say,
no,
man, in all of that time, I know they got over on you pretty doggone good? Which one up would you say? Would you say, man, they obviously didn't discriminate on you because you still farm and you've been farming? Or would you say,
I would say the second part you were saying.
Okay, so you would agree. So, and let me tell you, when they did that American Rescue Act and they gave money to farmers, sir, the people that ended up getting the most money out of that deal was people that they couldn't find records for. And let me explain. So that program was kind of like a here black folks, take these billions of dollars and shut up. We don't want to hear nothing else about y'all being discriminated against. And we gonna let this black company, black farmers, including denying loans, like your brother was saying, and other forms of assistance. Debt relief. The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 included debt relief for socially disadvantaged farmers. However, black farmers implemented of this program has been complex, and some black farmers have faced challenges accessing these benefits. Biden administration has taken steps to address these issues, but I mean, he's out the door. So you know, let me say one more thing, just so people who don't know about the Farm Bill. It's a comprehensive piece of legislation in the United States that governs agriculture, food assistance, conservation, and other related programs. We're supposed to govern over agriculture subsidies, support farmers through financial assistance. Which, I mean, all this on paper, but it seems like the brother right here, he ain't really getting a fair shake because we only make up. Now, but look, let me say this, Mandika. That program that you spoke about, I did. Mm-hmm. I applied for that program, and I was awarded. Okay. I was awarded some crumbs. Good. So And let me explain to you why I said crumbs.
Oh, crumbs. I thought you said, okay, go ahead, speak on it, fam.
Yeah. So for some reason, I don't know why, whenever we have programs like that, something always happens to where
You don't get it all.
you don't. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I just, when I introduced myself, I told y'all I started my very first crop was in 1990.
1990, you said.
Yeah. So if a guy has survived and made it this far, does that mean that you basically, you obviously you wasn't discriminated against? Is that the way you would look at it? Or would you say,
No.
man, in all of that time, I know they got over on you pretty doggone good? Which one up would you say? Would you say, man, they obviously didn't discriminate on you because you still farm and you've been farming? Or would you say?
Yeah, I would say the second part you were saying.
Okay, so you would agree. So, and let me tell you, when they did that American Rescue Act and they gave money to farmers, sir, the people that ended up getting the most money out of that deal was people that they couldn't find records for. And let me explain. So that program was kind of like a here black folks, here black folks, take these billions of dollars and shut up. We don't want to hear nothing else about y'all being discriminated against. And we gonna let this black company disperse y'all money. So
you got
I've talked to multiple farmers that I know caught the blues from USDA and FSA office. And my family was one of them. And let me explain. When you go in and you request to make a loan to farm, if they deny the loan, they do not keep a record of the denial. But if they give you a loan, they keep records. So you had people that would create all kind of scenarios. Once they realized how the system was working, they would create scenarios where they lost how much money. There were people getting $500,000 because
you're moving around.
Program and
you're moving around, Jamie, and you're losing.
Hey, listen, your audio is breaking up, Jay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So
can you hear me better now?
Just get stationary, Jamie, because
okay.
moving around, you're losing you. Unmute yourself.
So is it almost like the farmer PPP loan? Was it like that, like the PPP loan of the farmer?
This seemed like it was something like a class action lawsuit. He's on mute.
Yeah, Jamie, you're on mute. You got to unmute your phone.
You should be able to unmute him, DJ.
Yeah, he's froze right there. Look like whatever it is.
He muted himself, so I can't unmute. If you mute yourself, I can't unmute you. So
yeah,
I think it's the system doing that.
Yeah,
Jamie, but yeah, that's crazy. All right, go ahead. So find that Chinese canned corn.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you want some real corn, these are the people that's making it. You know, you guys gotta know this.
This part of it for me, Jamie, can you hear me? This part of it for me, Jamie, I want to ask you this because it's I want to know, would you be able to find whatever the name of that program was? Because it's a program, Jamie, whatever that program is, I would like to get in that get into whatever that program was, see what that program actually offers, see different parts of that program that I can see. Guess what? It might be a class action lawsuit to follow that program. So I definitely would like for you to see if you could find the name of that program, because that's a good start. If they only paid you pennies, let's see why.
The guy that was on when we first came on, that they showed the picture of a boy.
With the one that the $4 billion lawsuit or something like that.
Yeah, that's the money that they dispersed. That is the money.
So
Is that the guy that I like just played with the cowboy
Yeah,
hat?
yes,
Yeah.
that's the money. That is the money.
So it all went to him, but then he didn't
No,
disperse.
it didn't. I think he ended up getting 500,000. I think he ended up getting 500,000. So, but
That ain't no money though.
no.
Yes.
but here it is. Like a farmer like myself, I've been farming all my life, and I've been discriminated in multiple different ways through USDA. But the way you interpret it, or the way your application for that funding went out, it wasn't based on factors. It was based on how the person that was interviewing your application read and interpreted that day. And if just say, for instance, if it was a lady and her and her husband had one hell of a night the night before, and she came in a bad mood, can you think the people that she done their applications that next day was going to get a favorable outcome?
I want to look at the name of that loan again, DJ. If you can't, because I looked at it, and I'm sure all of us kind of briefed through it a little bit because we were just coming on.
It's done.
We played that Genesis.
Challenging you today to support the National Black Farmers Association. I was the first Black advocate to stand up against the DEI cuts or tractor supply. John Deere. If you don't believe me, check it out for yourself. You need to rise up and speak out now, not later, because if we don't, they're going to continue to take this country down a pathway that is going to take decades to get away from. My name is John Board, founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association. I'm coming to Washington, D.C., February 5th, people. Board versus the USA. My case addresses what they call in today DEI. Yes, I'm looking for $5 billion in debt relief, and I'm asking the Federal Court of Appeals to reverse the decision and grant 17,000 Black and other farmers of color 120% debt relief. I don't care what they say. I'm not going to stop fighting, and you should not stop fighting in this country. Stand up and stand up.
You know, how much of this was really probably even had people that were not Black farmers that applied for this, but probably had a Black person?
No, you had to be Black, indigenous, or had some type of now don't get me wrong, I don't think they asked nobody for their driver's license.
You understand what I'm saying? It sounded to me like it was they found out about this bill and everybody and their grandma applied to it.
But
it ain't that easy though. Not that money. It ain't that easy.
So now look, let me explain to everybody one part of that program that they released and the way it was funded. One of the things, the way it was funded, when it was funded, that if you applied for the money and you received it, whatever your determination was, you couldn't go back and backtrack it. You couldn't appeal it. It was final.
That was it.
We need to dig in that. That's what I want to dig into. And I could see he got 500,000. Why? Probably because he's the one that initiated. Most of the time, when you're the one that initiated it, you sit on the line first. You gonna get big portion of it damn near like an attorney. Everybody else get the crumbs.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You found it. That's it.
I said it to DJ Genesis. You want to put it on the screen?
All right, Genesis can screen it up there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, appreciate it, Mandinka. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she got.
See, people don't realize how important this is.
It's very important.
Yeah, because looking at other things, that if we can't protect the farmers that raise our food and benefit, we're gonna struggle. And we right now we are economically in a crisis. You know,
it's bigger than that. It's bigger than
that.
Yeah, it's gonna all tie in together with these farmers. It's gonna tie in.
Immigration thing. All of it's gonna eventually come down to that same thing.
That's the part that I was on. Black and minority. So what they did was, because Chinese people are a minority. So what they do is they wrap the Black thing into, and they put minority along with it. And now Chinese people get it, Latino get it, certain white females. everybody, all kind of minorities fall within this group. So
Yeah.
so that's why you get 500,000, and then other minorities, if they apply, they get more or whatever. And that's what the issue is. You have Chinese farms all over the United States that probably applied for the same settlement and
Didn't
got
you
money
say that-
from the government.
So let me share something about that program that I don't have the documentation to prove it, but I've been told by the family. There's a family that lives close to Baba. It's a family of farmers. There's a daddy and 4 brothers. No, 3 brothers. A daddy and 3 brothers. All 4 of that family applied for this same settlement money. One brother gets 300,000. The other brother gets 200,000. The other brother gets 30,000, and the dads get 20.
Okay, so let me ask you on that, Jamie. So all of them getting it, were they a part of the same farming?
Yes.
So they triple dipped as a family.
No. So here is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, tell me.
Basically, if one brother got 300,000, all the rest of them should have got to 300,000 because they form as one entity. They form together as one family.
So they should have only got it.
But each one of them has their share.
So they should get it separately.
Yes.
Okay.
But they based on how anybody was feeling that day, decided how much they was going to give
That's
you.
exactly right.
So
Because the same person did not review their applications.
Wow. So it's people, it's discretion. You can't appeal it. That's it.
No,
When you make
nothing.
that decision,
It's
that's
over
it.
with. When the money was awarded, it was over.
That was a wrap.
I want to show this one video. I want to see what you think about this video right here.
Do y'all see what's happening? Do y'all see what they doing to black farmers under Trump's orders with his anti-DEI initiatives? The USDA is ending support for black farmers, claiming that they have sufficiently addressed historic discrimination. I don't think most people understand that since 1920, black farmers have lost 90% of black-owned farmland.
We look at 1920, there was 16 million acres of land, and present day, you look at there's only 2 million acres of black-owned land in the country. That's 14 million acres of land that has just disappeared from the black agricultural community.
One of the reasons is because the KKK used to terrorize black landowners and burn crosses in front of their family homes, lynch the black men that were the heads of those households, forcing those families to flee out of safety and fear for their lives, leaving the land behind for white landowners to take in their absence. But the main reason for the loss of all of this black-owned farmland is because of direct discrimination by the United States government. They used to give subsidies to white farmers that they would deny for black farmers. The banking system that would give loans to white farmers to upgrade their farming equipment, but they would deny those same loans to black farmers. The discrimination was so obvious and so prevalent that in 1996, John Boy Jr. led a lawsuit against the United States government and won a $2 billion settlement for black farmers. Now, it's 2025, so almost 2 decades later, that settlement has still not fully been paid out. Why? Because white farmers, of course, countersued, claiming that it was reverse discrimination for black farmers to get this settlement. Now, the crazy thing about that is when you calculate the amount of wealth that was stolen and robbed from black farmers over the course of that time, that $2 billion doesn't even scratch the surface for the amount that's truly owed.
Black farmland lost in that 75-year period or so was worth $326 billion.
Think about all of the wealth that has been extracted from these families.
Now, just last month, my company, Actively Black, released a cotton line using 100% black-owned supply chain made from cotton grown by black farmers so that we could support our black farmers with our black dollars from our community. We're not waiting on anybody else to save us. We can do this with our people and save ourselves. We partnered with Bridgeforth Farms, a 5th-generation family of black farmers who have owned their land for 150 years, and Comco Cotton, so that we could directly support black farmers with the cotton that we're buying that goes into this collection. Now listen, we are paying above market prices for the cotton and the labor to these black farmers so that we can provide financial support to them in a meaningful way. So yes, that is why the shirt costs $60. Now, according to McKinsey data, black people in America spend $30 billion a year on apparel. So we're just fine spending the money to generate wealth for everybody else but ourselves. If we just shifted 1% of what we already spend with everybody else and spent it with brands that are buying their cotton from black farmers, we could literally generate our own revenue that supports black farmers and saves their land. Now, we can get mad, we can boycott, we can fight each other, or we can collectively and actively put our energy towards solutions that actually uplift our people and our community. And to me, that's what being actively black means.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
It was too long.
No,
No, it wasn't too long. It made the point it needed to make.
It made it, but now,
I
in that point,
to ask questions during it was my point.
Well, no, it's a download, so it's not a YouTube video. So whenever it takes over the whole screen, it's a download. So I can't pause it in between. It has to play the whole thing, or it has to end and I have to start it back over again. That's the reason why I couldn't stop it.
Gotcha.
let me interject this as being in logistics. You talk about the black farmers and the cotton and making those things. Where is the black textile mill? Where are the black textile mill that got to process that cotton in the yarn to make it so it can go in? Because in the industry, you got to get it to a textile mill. People like Fruit of the Looms and all of them. When you're harvest, a lot of times we miss, you might grow it, but if you don't have a textile mill to process it, then you still back in the system. Where's the black textile mill? They're using immigrants, they're using immigrant labor, cheap labor, so they're still benefiting off of us.
Yeah. I actually know the guy that's growing that cotton for the man that owns that Actively Black company. They out of Alabama. They're Bridgeforth Farms. I've met them a time or two. We've been at some different farm meetings together. That's one of those contracts that I was talking about.
Right.
I was in talks with Frito-Lay. I knew a person that had contact with Frito-Lay, and she worked in their offices, and she was trying to get them to give me a contract to grow some corn for them. But that was right after what was it? Frito-Lay. But pretty much all of the talk stalled when Trump got in office and all of that DEI stuff got started. They told me that it wasn't dead, but they just wanted to wait.
So how has DEI affected your farm and other black farms? Has DEI really affected it really harsh?
I am the DEI when it comes to farming where I am, because pretty much I live in the rural area, and the workers that I got are guys that are just black guys from the area that do farm work. So DEI don't really have a role for me. If anything, what DEI has done, whereas there used to be what they used to call historically underserved in the USDA office. I used to, anything like, for instance, if there was a government payment that was going to be paid, being that I was DEI, they would start processing my paperwork first, because I fell under the historically underserved category. For instance, like if I applied for some of the USDA programs where they would assist you with maybe doing some improvements on a piece of farmland. Being that you were historically underserved, they might make a provision to where they would give you some front money to start the program when other farmers, like just normal white farmers, don't get no front money. So those are some of the things that, you know, the USDA office had in place, but that, as far as I'm concerned, it was mainly put in place under Democratic ran regimes. When you see those kind of programs come up, it was during the times of Democrats. You don't never see the Republicans doing those kind of programs.
Go ahead, Mandika. I was going to ask a question about TEI.
Go ahead, boss man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask him about when you said about the Democrats. Is that like good or bad?
That's good. Yeah. Because of course, Democrats, they try to make sure that the small person, I won't just say minority, because there's some poor white folks that these Republicans don't care about them either.
All right. Well,
the Republicans ain't got no use for a poor white person.
I don't know. I think it don't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. They both have failed the black farmer. Right. Let me read this. The USDA lacks of support for black farmers is a long-lasting issue with historical and ongoing implications. Here are some key points. Historical discrimination. The USDA has a history of discrimination against black farmers, denying them loans and other forms of assistance. Mm-hmm. They have led to a significant decline in the number of black farmers from nearly 1 million in 1920 to less than 50,000 today. Mm-hmm. The current challenges black farmers face, numerous challenges include limited access to credit. They blocking our credit, y'all. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's Obama in there. I don't give a damn if it's Trump. It don't matter. Since 1920, and we are down to 50,000. It don't matter what president, Democrat or Republican, they still doing our people wrong. Let me just say one more now. I don't want to take over the show, but I just want to throw my little jab in there at the government myself. Limited access to credit, ladies and gentlemen. We got to do something about this. This brother right here is a hardworking black farmer. And it's like they blackballing us out. Mm-hmm. So do we come up with a plan where we just support our black farmers? That's kind of hard too, because they ain't just selling no 3 bushels of corn. They selling in bulk. You see what I'm saying? So here goes another statistic. Limited access to credit. Black farmers are more likely to be denied, loans, with only 37% of loan applications approved compared to 71% for white farmers. Now, see, in Houston, we got a problem. You see what I'm saying? Racial bias. One more, and I'm going to give it back to Flo. One more. Local USDA officers often have inexperienced personnel and lack to assist black farmers, leading to poor service and what they call that, discrimination. Like not equal. You know what I'm saying? So the recent developments, USDA has taken steps to address this issue. That's what they say. The debt relief, the Biden administration has distributed $2 billion in overdue debt relief to 43,000 farmers who experienced discrimination with an average payout of $82,000. That's chump change for farmers. The hell is that gonna do?
Can I show this? I'm gonna show this real quick so I can show you guys. Go ahead, finish your thing out.
One more, please. Just let me get one more in because I want to beat them up too. Look, come on, man. So the ongoing concern is, despite these efforts, concerns remain about the USDA commitment to supporting black farmers. These agencies' recent decision to remove equitable support for socially disadvantaged farmers have been criticized as a step backwards. They eliminate stuff that we need right now. So go ahead, sis. I had some more, but I'll bring it later on in the bill.
Nope, go ahead and finish, Mandika. I mean, we that was a long video, and we want to talk about that from the video too. So go ahead and say what you're saying. It helps.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and then I can send you the sources. You got the USDA in support for socially disadvantaged. The sources is we source up over here. We ain't just running our pork chop eating lips. So the USDA, right, in support for socially disadvantaged black, like he said, look. for black farmers. He said that. I
But
can
see
believe it.
but that's the
Right
bias.
there. I can send it to you. Yeah. So
Let me show.
go ahead,
I'm not gonna play the whole video, but I'm gonna show you this real quick. Watch
USDA
this.
specifically just said on paper they have ended key support for black farmers and will no longer use the term socially disadvantaged. They said they've sufficiently addressed historical discrimination. It's pure fuckery every single week, every single day with this administration, bro. They've literally not done one positive thing for anyone.
Road.
I want
Look, let me say this. Can I?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
USDA has been the main thing been screwing black folks right here in Louisiana. It was called the Land Transitional Act, where they took land from black folks, gave it to poor white folks out of Arkansas, moved them down to Louisiana, down to East Carroll, Madison Parish, and where I am. I've got the record over here. And the deal was, we have a bad habit of not keeping good records and deeds. If you didn't have a good record of deeds showing that the land that y'all been working 50 years was yours, they took the land because somebody bought it and put white folks on. It was called the USDA Land Transitional Act, that they took land, literally thousands of acres of land, and gave it to poor whites out of Arkansas, moved them down to East Carroll, Louisiana, West Carroll, Madison Parish, Tennessee, gave them land, gave it to them.
Wow.
Then
The hills had eyes. Gave it to them people.
To buy or to get farm equipment to farm it with.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. So watching both of those videos, I wanted to confirm, is it true? Did the USDA stop support for black farmers? I want to confirm that.
Yeah, it's a trick bag.
So when they say stop, when you say stop support, because we do know that's illegal, what did they stop as far as can be traced back on paper that they stopped?
So now for me, I can't personally say that the USDA office stopped nothing.
That's what I wanted to
So let me explain to you where I am on it. So the way my farm finances is set up is I get what USDA calls a 90-10 crop loan. And my loan is applied for at my local bank, where I've been banking all my life pretty much. But USDA guarantees the loan for the bank. And basically, just say, for instance, if I have a catastrophe and I don't pay not one penny back, and it's not a boast, this is just facts. My 2025 crop loan was for $895,000. And just say, for instance, I don't pay a nickel back. My bank only loses 10% of that $895,000. USDA will be on the hook for the rest of the money. And I will owe USDA then after they done sued the dog out of me and basically done took all of my farmland and all of the assets that I got. They'll deal with me. The government will deal with me. So what basically the USDA is trying to do is give the banks a reason to loan farmers money.
Right.
But that, I've been told that I am one of a few in the state that's making loans like I am. That, man, you blessed to be able to do what you do. And I appreciate all of the help that I get. But
so what do you think it is that stopped the other farmers from being able to get it?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm trying to dig into deep.
Now, I can't speak on that situation, but now I'm just now. I hope we can accept this the right way.
Just say it. I will. I'll figure it out.
Everybody don't get up off their ass and work hard and pay their bills.
Okay.
And when you have a track record of working hard and paying your bills, sometimes people will go to bat for you. Because I can promise you the year that I told y'all about where we had all of the rain and I had all of those beans rotted, I was in a minus of $400,000 that year, but I never stopped farming.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be stressful.
Basically, what I'm hearing from you is it's almost like in any other business that we have going on, like for SBA. If you don't have the adequate credit, you don't have the adequate paperwork to show, those will be some of the stoppers that will stop you from getting this, this 90 crop loan.
That's right. So,
okay, so I wanted to understand, did that play any role with our black farmers, so I could take that off the list? So it is, so USDA technically is still supporting black farmers.
Yes, you can still go there and get money. Yeah.
But, they ain't, no, I mean, what? No, we talking about it as a whole. They
well, I understand. That's what
you sprinkle one or two LeBron James and Kobe's in their life, that doesn't mean that they helping everybody. So
that's exactly right. I agree with you,
I'm not
agree with you.
I'm just saying, no, they ain't doing enough. That's my point.
So right there, Mandico, the problem that you're basically saying to me is they aren't doing enough, but it's not the same. Right. It's not available. So what I need to know, because for me to be interjected and see what I could do to help and support what needs to connect these dots, I need to understand the true ins and outs. So it's not that USDA is not supporting, they're not doing like they're doing in every other situation when it comes to loans and approving, but they are still providing, technically by law on paper, they are providing support.
So look,
hold on.
That's what it is, smoke screens. It's looking good on paper, but in reality, hey, like that brother saying, hey, how they gonna get one 300,000, one of them 50, one of them 20, and one of them, they supposed to all get the same amount.
But those separate things, though, those separate situations as well. Because right now, what he's referring to is something separate. What the money that was split up separately, that came from a settlement.
Right, that's exactly right.
USDA, it did come from the USDA, and it didn't come from this 90-10 crop loan.
Right, and USDA was not handling that program. They gave the $2 billion to some company that they hired to distribute this money for them.
And I get what
the company was supposedly a black managed company. They wasn't letting white folks handle these people money. They was letting black folks handle the money.
Let blacks screw the blacks.
Right. So just to show you, just Mandinka.
Look, that's the house nigga. That's the house
nigga. Yeah, they put a house nigga over the money. Yeah, that's what they did. So they ain't fooling us. There was a white puppet master right behind them, telling them, you do this, you do that. Just so they can put the black face to go down as the scapegoat. No, we ain't do it. It's still them. So that's how I look at it, my brother Jamie. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at here is we got to understand, in order for us to find out what the problem is, what the source is, what the solution is, and what we can do to kind of come together and start resolving. Because we could talk all we want, but if you don't know how to put the boots on the ground and even understand what we're getting ourselves into, you're going to get nowhere fast, but back on here and talking about it with no action. So I think what I'm trying to understand here is this: we need to separate where the problem is at. Because if we're talking about where the settlement money come at, listen, that's one of them things where let's get rid of these illegal immigrants, then we're going to come back and get all these goddamn girls off of welfare, but let's get the illegal immigrants out first. So we understand that this $2 billion settlement, it's clear in my head that something happened to the money. It was given to the wrong people, and half of it they probably took. And I want to do some research on that, because they can even get in trouble from that. Number one.
Queen, I just told you where the money went. But look, wait a minute. Just listen to me for a second. Just listen to me for a second.
I agree.
So if you and look, I'm talking to my people now.
That's right.
So I can be 100% real.
I need
so
you.
Now, if you give us a way that we can learn how to work the system, we work it, right?
Yep.
So there were people applying for that money that we just looked at.
Right.
There were people that are applying for the money that has never touched a farm, don't know what a farm is. When I told you that when USDA does not keep records, when they deny a loan, when they let us brothers and sisters know that they don't have no records when they deny loan. That means baby at home can say, hey, I applied for some money in 1980. They sent him $5,000 just for nothing. So that was,
I can have a persimmon tree in my backyard and say I'm a farmer and get some of that money.
You didn't even have to do that. What I'm saying to you seriously is people no more than somebody like with the PPP money. How many people y'all knew?
That's what I was saying. It was like the PPP loan. They came out with the whole settlement, and everybody and their grandma applied for it that knew about it. And some people had farms, some people didn't. And it was just about the person that was on the thing at the time that saw the account. They got the money or they didn't. He showed that okay, one person got 20, one person got 300. They weren't looking at the file because they were just going off of their feelings about, well, it looked like you should get 20, you should get 20, you should get 30, whatever.
Right.
And I'm not sure. I mean, was it a person when you called the line to talk to the person, were they like, welcome to the USDA, and I just going to go through your account. I'm being silly. You know, sometimes it be like they go through like a call center, people just collecting the information, and you don't even. This person might be in India or Philippines somewhere. They collect your data, and then you might get like maybe down the line a person to actually like look at your file. But by that point, they're just supporting. They're just going through and just shuffling people through. Is that exactly what the situation was going on?
That's kind of that. You knocked it out the park. That's kind of the way it went.
After Brother Jamie get done.
Knocked it out the park.
Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Can we put this back? I'm gonna put this on the screen. Just kind of, land me back off of what you was talking about. I sent it to DJ Genesis, but this is saying that USDA in support for socially advantaged Black farmers. Did you get it, DJ Genesis? Because it's saying exactly what you're saying, highlighting massive white payouts before debt relief for Black farmers. See, they was given to the white folks before, even though, like you say, before the people who really needed it.
Yeah, because listen, all you gotta do, listen, they could say they could say it says minority and Black people. So minority could be a white person, white woman,
a white woman, yes.
It could be a Mexican person, an Indian, Chinese, Arab, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Irish person, minority. Well, anything could be a minority. So therefore, they can say, "Well, I'm aware a minority," and they apply for the same exact thing. So here, and that's exactly what Dr. Clark Anderson said, is that what people will do is wrap themselves into the whole cloak of minority, and then be able to say and wrap themselves in the suffrage of the Black folk and get all the benefits that we're fighting for, and then we're left at square one. And here's the thing: we're talking about this. This happened during the Biden administration. Let me show you what's happening now, though. Let me show you.
Let me just read this before you skip past this real quick.
Go ahead and read that real quick. Go ahead. This is Biden. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. It said the Biden administration finally began distributing $2 billion in overdue debt relief in 2024, nearly 2 years after it was first authorized through the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. The funding was intended to support 43,000 farmers who experienced discrimination with an average pay rate of 82,000. But I'm saying, I'm gonna read the part where it says highlighting. I wish you could put it on the screen, that was so everybody can see. I just sent it to you. If we could do that, that'd be more.
I don't. Did you send it to their Facebook or which one?
I sent it to your messenger.
Oh, here, I got it right here. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it that way, and I still can read it. But yeah. Man, like I said, they not doing right. Like I say, on paper they're gonna say they're gonna do something, but in reality, man, they giving it to whoever they want to give it to. They might be putting it in their pocket, But, something's blocking it in the front, DJ.
Kevin, right? You spot on,
Yeah.
spot on, Kev. Yeah, we spot on. Okay. No, that's pretty
It's
bad.
something in front of the article. Or is that just me seeing that?
No,
Right, there we go.
she's trying to get.
Now, yeah, I mean,
this is actually yesterday. This article was what, yesterday.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? See, 7,000 bring the hot new sources for the audience. You know, we don't come with the old sources like in 2001. We over here at DJ Genesis, we bring you up to date. You see what I'm saying? Now look at this. The U.S. Department. Go ahead. Somebody say something before I get to read.
I want to ask a question. When you say USDA and support for socially disadvantaged, I want to get the description of socially disadvantaged.
That's the new code words for black.
They talking about us. They talking about us.
I want to read. I want to, if you could blow it up or read it, because I want to hear what they have verbatimly on there. Because what I'm looking for, I understand the open conversation, but for me, I want to pick a time to go a little bit deep into this conversation, because I may see other avenues that may even open up the doors for even class action lawsuits on top of one lawsuit. So for me,
what I will also say is that, you know, when we're going to go too deep into it, we don't put all of our business on the web, on the this thing right here. We have a meeting behind the scenes about lawsuits and things like that we plan on doing, because you don't want to tell people what your moves are.
You didn't let me finish. What I was going to say is I'm looking at it, and for what I'm writing down on my book, I see other avenues of things, because I'm not the one putting the clips up.
I say.
All right, so let me, at the elder go, I just want to read one paragraph, and then we can comment, because this is important. Go to the part highlighting massive white payouts. There it is right there. Yep. Hold on. Let me get back to my spot. I just want to, I won't be long, and then everybody can, do what they do. All right. So
don't rush. Take your time, Mandika. Go ahead, take your time.
All right. Well, highlighting massive white payouts before debt relief for black farmers. What's going on? It says, according to Mother Jones, are outraged from white farmers. What they outraged about over targeted relief for black farmers ignores the reality that 97% of the USDA's $42.2 billion in 2020 agriculture bailouts went to white producers, and we get a little bit of kibblers and nibblers, and they still crying. This is what we got up against, y'all. See, these subsidies exploded during Trump's trade war with the COVID-19 pandemic without congressional oversight in many cases. See, Mother Jones also reports that the Representative Sam Graves, who criticized aid to farmers of color as un-American. This ain't right. We built this country. We can't get nothing. We can't get reparations. We can't get farm relief. We can't get good health care. What can we get? A hard time. And we tired of it. That's what it is. We tired of it. That's why we on the air right now. This is a start, ladies and gentlemen, for us to make the people aware of what's going on and what they're doing to our black farmers. But we never talk about it. Now I lost my little spot, but let me get back to it. Let me get back to my messenger. But what I'm saying, y'all, we talk. This is stuff that we need to talk about more. You know what I'm saying? This is what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. You know, all the drama in the community. You know, we ain't with that, because it leads us nowhere but chasing our tail. You know, so over here we talking about problems and real issues in life. But let me get back to that part right there, and then I turn it on. Here we go. All right. Now, Representative Sam Graves, who criticized aid to farmers of color, is as un-American, represent a district that ranked in nearly $5 billion in farm subsidies between 1995 and 2020. His own family farm alone received $661,153, including $57,000 in 2019. Meanwhile, white farmers like Tennessee Kelly Grant appeared on Fox News to complain about debt relief going to black farmers. You know what I mean? And then do they listen to these complaints? Do they stop because Pinky and them over there crying? Y'all been had a head start ahead of us. Actually, there's a 280-year wealth gap. Can we get something, please? Remember, we built the country while y'all was sitting there drinking Kool-Aid. Lemonade.
They were drinking Kool-Aid, bro.
And they crying. I'm done for a minute. Somebody else go ahead.
I'll just come through right quick. Listen, Donald Trump and his administration had done away with the Black Farmers Assistance. We know that in 1990 they passed a farm bill, and then they put in this 2501 project where this program was set up to help Black farmers and underserved farmers around the United States.
I think it froze, DJ.
The USDA
Oh, is it me?
through the Department of
playing?
Agriculture, but this is a
Okay, it
program
froze.
that the
But
Department
yeah,
of
once you get that in
Agriculture
order,
have
you
came
know, see, look at
in
this.
to
Now,
say
look,
they're
Black
doing
Farmers
away
Bill
with it,
2501
because of
program
Donald
has
Trump want them to do away with
undeserved farmers.
anything
Oh, this
related
ain't
to
undeserved
DEI,
farmers.
which they
I want to hear
still don't
about this.
understand what that is.
But
They're changing
I mean,
it
both
up,
candidates.
and I know that this will hurt Black farmers, but we know.
Hey, it was playing. Everybody else could hear it. I think it was still only frozen on your end.
All right, everybody heard it? My fault. Play it again then. I
I'll
was
just come
talking.
through right quick. Listen, Donald Trump and his administration had done away with the Black Farmers Assistance. We know that in 1990 they passed a farm bill, and then they put in this 2501 project where this program was set up to help Black farmers and underserved farmers around the United States. It was set up by the USDA through the Department of Agriculture, but this is a program that the Department of Agriculture have came in to say they're doing away with it because of Donald Trump want them to do away with anything related to DEI, which they still don't understand what that is. But they're changing it up, and I know that this will hurt Black farmers, but we know for a long, long time that even though they set this program up to help farmers, Black farmers, to get grants, the Black farmer was not getting those grants anyway. So this is something to deter Black farmers. Guess what? A lot of them doing their own thing without any government assistance. I know several. If you're on TikTok, go look out there. Find some Black farmers and you'll see what's going on.
We have some big news right now. The Department of Agriculture just ended a 35-year-old policy that was designed to help Black farmers.
So there's basically two problems that Black farmers face with getting more of us onto the land and dealing with the equity problem that these programs that have just been defunded are designed to address. One is that currently Black farmers are only 2 to 4% of the farming population. The second problem is getting more farmers, getting a bigger share of Black farmers is going to mean you've got to get more new farmers in, more first-generation farmers in. What the Trump administration has done by getting rid of the whole socially disadvantaged designation is to really affect that first problem. The operating loans and the equipment loans and the stuff that existing farmers really rely on in order to be able to conduct their operations, because traditional banks generally aren't going to fund something as risky as farming. There are financial programs through the USDA that are supposed to target first-generation farmers and people that aren't necessarily on the land yet, but they don't really solve the problem. Like, if they solve the problem, then you wouldn't have issues with white farmers wondering who's going to take over the farm. Like, there's a first-generation farmer problem with white people too. So these beginning programs, whether they target socially disadvantaged people or not, they're not solving the first-generation farmer problem because they're not designed to. I've been outspoken about this for a very long time, often to my detriment. I got in a lot of trouble with the whole Black food justice community when I came out strongly opposed to the Justice for Black Farmers Act, because all it did was toss more would-be farmers into this meat grinder of USDA programs and this whole system of farms that sits under this layer of agribusiness that just presses them and presses them and presses them. All it did was throw Black bodies into that meat grinder, and I got in a lot of.
I mean, I just wanted to show you a little bit of that, but thoughts about that?
Well, my little thing about that is that as long as we keep depending on federal subsidies to sustain us, we'll forever be treated like a $2, you know what, at a Saturday night fish fry. And they play with us. But our thing is this: we talk about it, but I'm looking at, if you don't control the product from start to finish, and the end is the gap, we need our own textile mill. We need to be able to do it for ourselves and become competitive. See, everybody has to depend on somebody else to finish the product. Jamie raises the cotton, and they got to carry it to a white company to gin it. Once they gin it, it's got to go to a textile mill. From textile, it's got to go to China. You make thread and ship it back over. Somewhere we got to get involved in logistics. Like you and I was talking, Queen. We got to find a co-op. How much money do 43 million black folks handle every year? What we spend our money on mostly, and why we can't support? Like you talk about 17,000 black farmers. What the 48,000 black farmers? The other farmers that they ain't talking about that own land. We get 48,000 black farmers in the United States. We ain't trying to find a black bank or black financial institution that can support us. We're always looking across the fence when our help is within the fence. And my thing is, you got to save yourself. What people hate, a beggar. Okay? And the good book say, a borrower is a slave to the lender. We see the federal government let us down in World War II. Took the federal troops out of the South. Klan came in. Every time they move them and they bring them back to put us back in line. When are we going to protect our own rear? Integration and immigration has destroyed the black fiber. Why? We were chasing that white flight, left our back door open. The Mexicans, everybody came in, took all the jobs that we used to control. We didn't lock them down. You came back, it wasn't none. Now we complain about what they're doing. Everything they got, we chased the other boy for Wall Street. They came by and got all the streets. So what are we going to do now? Now we're sitting around for the last 60 years having music complaining and Mandingo, and we ain't come up with one strategy or one agenda plan to start taking back what we lost. While I brought Jamie on, gotta start with the farmers. If you don't eat, you can't fight.
Yeah. And like I did a comparison when Biden was in office and Trump was running for office, and then I did a comparison when Trump's first term in office versus Biden. Trump did more for farmers his first time than Biden did in his 4 years. But now I don't know what Trump doing. But is it just Trump or is it the USDA? Do Trump control the USDA? We need to look into that. Maybe he don't have that power. No. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yes, he do.
He does. That's the problem. Is that it's the United States Department of Agriculture, federal government.
Hold on. You got to
go real quick. Hey, hold on real quick. Shout out to my wife, Jenny Hayes. I didn't say it earlier. Peace and blessings.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, sisters and brothers, get your emotion out. You got to go beyond the curtain. Trump is just a puppet. I told y'all. Federalist movement. You got to realize you got those other groups that you don't hear about this. Put in this plane. He's just a puppet.
Exactly. He just got in office. You can't blame him. What's been going on for years.
He's only following an agenda that's been put in place by the Zionists and the Federalist movement. Look at the Federalist paper. You got to look at the real deal. See, we're so emotional that we're looking at the little thing. Look behind the damn curtain.
Exactly.
That's where it's at. And these are the folks that tell him what to do.
And this
he'll sit up there and sign something. Even you know what? You told me that the actual pen he signed with, it automatically signed. He just hold it and it just signs it for him.
You know,
he don't even sign the damn bills that are coming.
And look at his signature. But I'm talking about you got the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergs, and all of that. Now you got the Black Boulets. That's all in the back room. See, we gotta get away from this shadow, this other government. That is one sitting back there that calls all the shots. You have to look at the fact. How many ports does China own in America? Who controls the port of the Panama Canal?
Yeah.
You know, how many?
Who controls Panama?
China do. China controls.
Elder, when you go pay a toll, you gotta go pay a toll. The United States don't even own that money. It'd be other countries getting the money for the tolls and all that. So yeah, I mean.
Wait, so when you pay your toll on the road, that these private roads, like President George Bush,
the only one you pay toll that they don't get is in Pennsylvania. and that money goes to the Amish. Did you know that?
Wow. Wow. So the people that
Pennsylvania
built the road
Turnpike,
get the money
the
for the toll.
Pennsylvania Turnpike, when you go in there, the money goes to the Amish family, the Amish organization. It says you in Amish land and you're gonna pay a damn toll. I've ran that the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Where's the zero toll? Where's our toll? Where's our toll?
Well, honey, we gotta build a road. We gotta like start. We gotta build a road.
All the roads. We build all the roads and don't get no benefit. We can't build a road.
We gotta find a shortcut and cut through somebody's whole neighborhood and build that road. No, we need to be able to go through. We need to buy your house and cut through your neighborhood to get over here.
They'll do that. But see, we looking in the wrong places for answers. That's why we're on here today. Yes. We're talking about the thing, but how do we fix it? We're gonna have to quit counting on somebody to do what we need to do for ourselves. Barry Shane gonna talk that. You don't count on folks to do what you need to do for yourself. We need to build our own infrastructure. And when you come to us, you got to deal with us. And what I found out the civil rights movement, we failed to protect our rear flank. We left our six open while we run down the road. And they came in behind us. When they came in behind us, they started doing what they call, they began to do what's called living. They did one family house. We call that what? When you got about 4 or 5 folks in the house, you know, and they built from that. I watched them take whole neighborhoods over. In Dallas, they took a whole part of Oak Cliff, you know. 3 or 4 or 5 families shopping together, buying together. We like cultural cohesiveness. And not that we're not able to build. I'm trying to think of this guy's name. I want you to pull him up. I think it's Tuna Campbell. Tuna Campbell. Can you pull him up? I want to show you something, please. I think his name is Tuna Campbell. He's talking what we can't do. We show what one man did. His name is Tuna, like the tuna fish. Tuna Campbell. So we pull him up and we talk about what we can't do. We can come together. We know how we let folks feed us that fairy tale. But pull up Tuna Campbell. If you can, DJ.
Are you talking about Campbell Industries? Is that what you're talking about?
No. That's early. He's a young man. I think he was born around 1812. His name is Campbell. Tuna Campbell.
Tunis Campbell. Okay, we go.
Yeah. Bring him up. Let everybody see. I read this brother and I got inspiration.
All right, so Reverend Tunis Gullet Campbell, April 1st, 1812, called the oldest and best known clergyman in the African Methodist AME Church. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, but he went on and established a town where no whites was allowed.
What's his name? No,
Georgia politician.
Who wasn't allowed? Hold on, real quick. Let me ask you that. Who you said wasn't allowed, Elder?
He didn't allow no white folks. He built a town did not allow no white people. His name was they couldn't come in.
Right.
He didn't allow them in there.
You're messing shit up. Go ahead.
So, military governor of Georgia Sea Islands.
Yeah, I think anyway, it's a video out there on him now. His name is Tunis Campbell. He tell you that he built a town and didn't allow no white people to even come into it whatsoever. And united the folks in that, I mean, you got to put him up. But let's move on because see, we know how to do things. We just look to complain, you know. And I'm while we come on today, out of 48,000 black farmers, less than 1/3 is benefited. Less than 1/3 is benefited. Out of 40 people,
Remember, Elder, in 1920, it was 1 million black farmers. What happened? They squeezed us out. They took our land and everything.
And the thing about it, because we did not protect ourselves, we kept falling for the okie doke for handouts. Remember, even when the government give you things, It's a bad way they're gonna take it back from it. What did the USDA? They guaranteed the loan. When you didn't get the loan, like Jamie said, they come in and they foreclose, take all your equipment, your land, and everything you work for. Now who gets that? They put it on the market, auction it off, and some white farmer winds up buying all of your labor.
If it's not a white farmer, it'll be a Chinese or whatever other country, which is crazy.
Know?
How in the hell do we allow? We can't go into China and buy land. Do we own land in China?
Know that.
DJ Genesis, I know you're trying to keep it politically, but let's not sugarcoat it. Most of these white folks are getting. We ain't putting no China and all that. No, let's just stick to the.
I'm just even saying.
I know you don't want the channel to get flagged. If we ain't racist, we just naming the goddamn facts.
No.
Listen,
Listen,
the main people that's getting it. The main people is getting it. We are talking about them unless we ain't giving them no goddamn break. Why are they getting it? The USDA giving them all the goddamn money.
They're giving it to the.
They already had a 280-year wealth gas advantage. They should shut the hell up. It's our turn to catch up. So I'm not trying to cap for none of them. China, none of them. They got their own problems over there. We talking about us.
Check this out.
Let's stick to
I'm trying to show you all the Chinese.
I love you as your sister, but I'm just saying, they forget China and everybody else. Go ahead.
If you Google it, the Chinese own 2/3 of the farmland in America. Russia
Thank you. Hello, that's what I'm trying to show. What are you talking about?
14 ports. Most China buy farmland and they buy through Dama Corporation. They put white boys in there, but the money's coming out.
Okay, well, you say China own all the farmland? Is that what you're saying in America?
No, I'm not saying all of it.
That was a guy. Okay, DJ, good point. Hey, stand down, man.
Yes, sir.
Jamie, who buys most? Wait a minute.
Go ahead,
DJ.
And all the farmland is by military, right next to a military base. So it's a strategic farmland area. They buy it right next to the military base. That's why when they had all those UAPs and drones and shit flying over the military bases, they thought it was China actually shipping stuff in to their farmlands and then like putting all these UAPs out and stuff again. Man, China is a strategic place in America.
So China buys Africa and the United States. Would that be a reasonable statement to say?
Yeah, you remember back in the day they had Detroit where you can go to Detroit and buy houses for like $1,000 or $1 or whatever. China brought up all that shit. Man, I was trying to get me a little house in Detroit, honey. China,
we could have been doing that.
But it's not.
We should have been doing that. They China bought up all them cheap houses, right?
But it's not just China. It's not just China. They buy. No. It's not just China, so we can't even just focus on China. They buy up land from the United States from other countries as well, not just China.
But China is the biggest buyer, though.
I know, but they're still
and they're our biggest enemy. How in the hell are we selling?
Whoa! Wait a minute.
How are they gonna be our enemy?
They're not an enemy.
Wait a minute. China didn't put us in slavery for 400 years. What are you talking about, our enemy?
Yeah, they're not an enemy. Well, when it comes down to war,
they got us
fighting.
Master house burning down.
You're right.
Yeah, come on now. Correct me when I'm wrong. You're
right about that. You're right about that. They're not my enemy, honey. I like Temu, okay, honey. I got Alibaba.com, okay.
But what I do,
I like.
Hey, shop like a billionaire. T-Boy ain't no joke.
Hey, TikTok is that deal. I love TikTok. Okay.
Hey,
Jamie,
yes, sir.
You grow soybeans. Who is the biggest supporter of soybeans?
The biggest China. That's exactly right.
So they're not an enemy. They actually a source.
The biggest supporter, biggest buyer of soybeans is China.
It's China.
And I think what's going to happen here. Yeah, what's going to happen here? Because I'm gonna do my own looking into this even more. I think what's going to have to happen is there's a lot of people, whether they agree with me or disagree, that's not my problem. However, what Trump is doing, whether people understand it or whether they believe it or not, if they take emotions off the table and look at each one of these laws and look at each one of these bills and start actually regulating, standing firm, getting rid of, and then add it in, it'll give everybody a different eye on things and a different perspective of what are we looking at now. So when we look at things like Trump around the world and he's reconditioning things with certain countries, if you don't understand what the real back end to their relationship is, you wouldn't understand whether or not those other countries are even taking anything from us, whether they're price gouging to us, whether they're doing so many things to us, number one. And then when you start adding in these illegal immigrants at the cost of $150 million a year, we're supporting illegal immigrants, not legal. Rather, if you're legal, it doesn't have, this conversation isn't about you. But if you're illegal, that's not, most of the time, not even counting the children. I mean, they come in even from other companies, even on their visas, they're not even paying for school. They're even getting money. Ones that came in a few years ago under the Biden administration, they came in and they're getting paid monthly for being here. Plus, we're taking over their school debt for them. Plus, when their 2 years is up, who's going to pay for their schooling? It's just so many things. Once we clear out a lot of the riffraff, we see the settling, then you will be able to look around and say, wait a minute now, we got enough land for this, because these same head farmers that were hiring illegals, that was undercutting on contracts, that was doing so many different things. What can we do now? Now we'll notice that we got a voice. Now we'll notice what our real skin in the game is. Now we'll really start seeing who's been stealing.
The biggest thing is to know that Trump ain't in charge of shit. First, we gotta stop saying Trump. We gotta like say whoever the hell made it things, the project, this, that, the other. Who is the company that made Project 2030, Project 2020? Because everybody talks about Project 25, but they don't know. But there's a Project 2030. I think there's a Project 2040, 2050, 26. There's all type of projects going on.
47.
They making these declarations 47, 58. You know, I don't even know what all the projects are. There's so many different projects with declarations of how they want to do stuff, and we're over here. We still on 2025. Honey, they done did 2025, executed successfully. They on 2040, 2052, whatever the next one is. Does anybody know what the other projects are that are going on? This ain't to do with Trump. This is a group of people. You ever seen that thing, The Handmaid's Tale? It's a show on Hulu. Y'all need to watch it. And it was called Gilead, right? It was a group of people called Gilead, and it was a people from America that had these values, and they came and took over America. And y'all need to go ahead and watch that series, because like it's the same thing happening.
The reason why
go ahead.
The reason why I'm adding Trump in, and I can't take him off the table, because Trump is the one that put his boots down and didn't move. We've been through so many different presidents on the Biden, Obama, the Bushes, and we can keep the Clintons. They didn't do what Trump is doing right now, and that's why it's such a big shakeup. So I put Trump on the table because he's the one, whether you got mad at him or not, he stood firm on the things that we need to do. The bills that I don't agree with, the decisions that he make, I have nothing to do with them. But if they're law and they were before his time, or he writing a bill, even with childbirth,
Honey, he can't write a bill. He can't even shake nobody's hand without his damn near about to bleed to death. His damn veins and shit falling apart.
That's when a person is being emotional and not taking and putting the truth on the table. If you're going to be emotional and look at who Trump is one thing. But if you're going to be strong and look at what the law said about illegals, we got to stand on what the law is, not what Trump is. But Trump is the one that enforced it. That's why he have to stay on the table. You can't take him off the table. Nobody else.
Mandingo.
No, I'm just listening.
I was going to show this 2025. He has said he shared with me on Facebook.
Yeah. But see what, and I would like to do this, family. This thing go back deep, and I tell everybody, if you haven't sat down and read the protocol of the Learned Elders of Zion, the real playbook, and the 11 executive orders under John F. Kennedy, we are really playing with ourselves. This thing is also in it's in what's called the federal records, the federal paper, and all that. We need to understand the government behind the government. You know, all of these things will tell us, and I've been studying for 20 years. And there's a thing called the myth of race. Another thing, the color of law. Have you ever heard of it? Color of law.
Is this the one right here? Is this the one?
Yeah. That's just a layout. But it's 79 pages, and there's one that's in there. Yeah, that one, the treaty between Britain. See, we're talking about window dressing and on a political chessboard when there is greater things in the background. There are government, as Bernie Sanders say, the oligarchies and the despots is running things behind the curtain. Trump is only a figurehead. He's on the table because everything falls at his lap. I all-time say that Trump was divinely brought before.
You better
That
tell him
sounds
again.
crazy. It didn't. Wait a minute. But I'm based on Queen, on Daniel, the 7th chapter, 7:25. You look at it, it talks about a time like this when this individual will raise up for a time of dividing of time, and his time will come to end. His time is coming up, and it talks about the prophecy and the things that will take place. Now we say, well, I don't make, but you got to read the handwriting on the wall because that is the people's playbook. Believe it or not, the Bible actually is a playbook they're using to bring forth their so-called prophecy. And if you don't read the nuggets that's in there, you're gonna miss a whole lot of stuff. I read it all from the Bhagavad Gita, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Bible, and I know you do too, Mandinka. And you look at it, it talks about these governments and how they come in power. Do you not know in the next year or so, America will be 250 years old, and every 250 years, a nation falls? Every 250 years, a nation falls and another comes up. We're at 249 now. 249.
You better know
that means at 250, the bottom gonna fall out, and we come up. Then NASA says in the year 2030, it's gonna be a major shift on the moon that's gonna flood a third of this place. It's already predicted.
And it's already flooding. It's already flooding. They're saying it's about cloud seeding, and what they're trying to do is block off all the access for people to even realize that this thing is coming. Like blocking all the satellites and this, that, the other, like getting rid of all the programs, the weather programs. That's the reason why that's flooding in Texas. Then I heard that they're actually breaking the dams. The reason why the flooding is happening is that they're breaking the dams.
Right. And
the
flood
happened
because
they broke the dams.
Now we're at 6G.
They've been doing that. Hey, Sister Monica, they've been doing that for a long time. What they would do, that's how they steal their land. They wipe, flood the dam and be black areas, and then they take over the land. That's the old trick.
You're exactly right.
Ain't nothing new. They've been doing that.
In 1927, they flooded Madison Parish. Yep. They flooded it with a flood, and when and they moved the levee. Once the settlement said it was rich land, the whites took it. It was owned by blacks. When they flooded it, and the Corps of Engineers them rerouted the Mississippi. The land they're growing on now, which owned by black, is very good fertile land because all the settlements and things that settled into that. Look at the 1927 flood in Louisiana. While it was flooded, you had to take a boat to go downtown.
And you know what, Baba? And I'm glad that you said that, because the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, I'm saying to myself, if people learn how to take the name Trump off the table and look at what's going on, we'll understand where we can head at. At the end of the day, if Trump did not come into existence, there is a lot that we would not be privy to before we close our eyes. But looking at Trump on the table right now, he did something stern and firm that we need in order to shake the finances back into the place, to shake everything back. It don't seem like it's going to work out right because people scared, people going off myths, they going off whatever they want to go off on. But honestly, to me, you need a strong person right now to shake the boots of everybody. Even when I think about Anton Massey, when it comes to Anton Massey, I can't wait to get there and really get involved. Why? He's really been divinely led. He's divinely led because he's the first one. He's the first one to break out of prison, get let out of a prison, whatever you want to call from that prison. But how many others have done what he did to open up the doors that there is true corruption, to where, guess what? Nowadays, we can go directly to a prison and you can see with your own two eyes that there was corruption there. There's black people sitting in there that shouldn't be in there. He was divinely led in order to tell us. And because my eyes see the divineness in him, I'm not blinking and I'm not taking my eyes off of it. And if I have to come on stages that don't understand stuff like that, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna politely decline, because this issue, these topics right here for me are so serious. They're personal. They embedded in me, and the Lord ain't build me up and lay me down for 3 years to come back strong like this. And when I look around America, I'm looking around to see who can stand with me as strong as I am without falling weak, without making me watch them, without making me question them, without them questioning me like that, because the Lord ain't putting but the strong people ahead right now. If you don't do it, your kids are going to fail. You think we're failing now? Keep it up and not pay attention to what's in front of you.
And I want to say something real quick to Mr. Sims. He says, love the content, brothers and sisters. Them two sisters gonna end up getting into it, and I love the content. Honey, we always get me and Queen always get into it. But guess what? We sisters, so it's listen. We can get into a full out drag out, but we still be cool at the end. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? We all passionate, and we really have our best interest at heart of the people. What we're trying to do. This is when you're dealing with a situation so dire. It brings a lot of passion and a lot of like emotions and stuff to the table. So I don't take it that we not gonna kill each other over it. You know what I'm saying?
And
you
on
know,
top of that, I don't know who would say something like that, because my conversation is an open conversation to whoever sit on the panel or who's in the chat. I don't come here to go at it with anybody. I come here to stand what my stake is in it, and then I can be out of here, because what's important to me may not be as important to someone else, whether it's male or female. So no, I don't come on nobody's chat to get into it with them. What I come here for is to stake what my piece is, and that's to draw the line in the sand. That's to draw the line in the sand, because I sit amongst the one of them, even as a black female, that hold these two right here. And when I tell you, when the Lord sits you there, he sits you there for a reason. And I already know what the reason is for me. I've already set my gaze down. So it's people following me. I'm not following nobody. My heart is
hell, I'm not following nobody. We two strong women up here. We two very headstrong women up in here.
I got my sage. I got my best sage, and I got my white candle over there lit. And you better know it. And I came in peace. That's why I got on white.
All right, Obama.
Right. You got Obatala and Oshun over there. We got Oya over here. We both female warrior spirits. So that's what
that's somebody saying something like that. Whoever said that might be somebody who used to going on stages and seeing women on stages together, and they don't know how to act. But one good thing about me, I honestly don't normally sit on the stage with women anyway. I sit on the stage with men because I'm raised with all men and no women. So I definitely know how to handle myself with a woman. So no, it's none of that for me at all. Nothing. I see a person so big until all the banter is not on my level.
Okay. So what I want to interject now is we talked about it. And I all the time tell everybody, now you might not like what I'm going to say, but I know it's a fact. Ifa has the answer to the problem. We do not consult the ancestors when we make decisions and choices. The next thing we need a strategic plan and a way to address it. You know, and I'm looking at this. I said it before. If all the Bible owls that has character would come together and sit down and consult and get a universal reading for directions, you know, we do a lot of emotional thinking, but we're not thinking on the celestial side. We're too involved in this parallel universe on the terrestrial side. The answer is so above, so below, and the answer we need to do is go into the depth and not talk about, but invoke. Note the word invoke the ancestors to give us the guidance that we need.
That's
not just talk about them.
Write it down. That's why you write it down. Take them notes.
Invoke the ancestors and bring in all of that strength, because they've been through more hell than we've ever seen. Even though we were there, they've been through it, and they can give us the guidance. I say, with what we want to deal with this, there is, look at this, the Guadalupe River down out of down south. It's been like that for years. Why did all those folks die? And they became a sacrifice that had to be given to wake the folks up. You don't play with Mother Nature, you know. And we've been playing. Another thing is, here I go. And Mandinka, hold my hand, bro. Hold my hand, bro. Okay, here we go. We are too busy accusing white folks for the shit that we ain't doing.
I said that today on my live.
We are so busy blaming them for the shit that we've been involved in.
Oh, we still doing
why, if we the oldest and the smartest, we taught them language, why are we on the tail end?
You better know.
Why we're not leading? Why? Because we lack a cultural cohesiveness. We lack that unification. And then when shit really get bad, we come together for funerals and marches. But when you really need to come together, ain't nobody showing up.
You better know it.
Hey, check this out. You know what? We just was talking about this, and guess what? 5 hours ago, this video just came out, and that's crazy. We're talking about this now, 5 hours ago. Let's check this out.
All of that represents about 300,000 acres of U.S. farmland that is currently owned by buyers from China. And what's more concerning to many is the fact that lots of that yellow farmland.
No, you ain't just played that.
China.
Will you go back and start that again?
U.S.
Please, Genesis. Will you go back? Oh man.
But let me tell you what's about what they doing though. I'm gonna speed it up, but let me see if I can speed it up because I'm gonna speed up to about 125. Let me show y'all what's crazy though. They already came up with some stuff.
Have been worried about this. All of that yellow represents about 300,000 acres of U.S. farmland that is currently owned by buyers from China. And what's more concerning to many is the fact that lots of that yellow farmland owned by buyers from China is very close to U.S. military installations, which can all be seen in red. Now, the Department of Agriculture says they've got a plan to deal with this.
We are taking this purpose and our American farmland back. American agriculture is not just about feeding our families, but about protecting our nation and standing up to foreign adversaries who are buying our farmland, stealing our research, creating dangerous vulnerabilities in the very systems that sustain us.
Before I get into
Now, how in the hell did they do it? How they buy it? What the fuck?
They bought it from the owners. They bought it from the people that own the land. It's that.
Can I say this real quick?
It's the owners of the land that's doing it.
But hold on, the video's not done. But let's go ahead.
Let's stop the video real quick because I just want to just say this: the nerve of them complaining when they was the one was taking land from everybody. Now it's happening to them, but they doing it legally. They buying the land. So how they
illegal
complain?
immigrants again? Back to
Who's
the illegal
selling it to them? Who's selling it to them? Who's selling it to them? They ain't just come take it.
The owners of the farms, the land that's selling it to them.
No, the thieves of the lands.
But would you call them thieves? Because if I had a house for sale right now,
they took a bunch of land that didn't belong to them. Yes, you're gonna have to call them thieves. They pass it down to generation to generation to generation. Yes, they didn't originally work hard for that land, and then look, they were getting them land grants when they were trying to get all the settlers to come over here, but we wasn't eligible for it. I mean, they got like I said, 280-year wealth gap over us, and they crying right now because Chinese buying the land by the military base. That's y'all fault. We can't do nothing about it. We had something to do with it. If they would have never got the land in the beginning, we still be on our land farming.
Right. They probably got the land that we own and bought it from us. You know, now they over there by the military because the land next to a military base is cheap because all the ghettos are next to the. Trust me, I was in the military. Every time you go to the military, step out that bitch is the hood. So it's cheaper land, outside of military bases. Just like if colleges, if you have a college, the land is cheaper around the college. Certain like installations, the land it gets for some reason it goes down in value. I don't know why.
It should be a grandfather clause in it that you can't sell the land to, because there are certain grandfather clause. Ann Richardson, who should be the governor of Texas, they found that they had a grandfather clause in there that not to sell to no Negroes.
So Elder, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I mean, do we have a problem with China buying the land?
Mm-mm.
I don't have a problem with it, and I'm not being no communist number. Goddamn, all is fair and love and war. Y'all took shit.
No, the only thing is that these are strategic. That's a strategic.
It's strategic, but hey, it was. I'm
an ex-military. I'm an ex-military.
I understand it's strategic. But that's their fault. So who to say they ain't working together? Who to say that this fake war just is a facade right in our face?
Not only that, you got a billionaires.
You hit the nail on the head, then, Mandingo, because all of it is a facade. But you have cultural casualties to make it look real. They killed 3,000 people in New York at the so-called tower just to get money.
There you go. Yep. You're in my mind. They flew Osama up out of here.
Okay, they killed so many in Oklahoma City at the federal building to make a point. This country will do anything it can to make a point. They actually blowed up the dams in New Orleans to flood 9th Ward to get control of the land near the ports.
And then sell to China. Did they sell to China afterwards?
Yeah, you know, so China.
They got control of the ports and then sold it to China. God dang it.
Yeah.
Maybe this whole thing is really because we just don't even want to run this country no more. They just want to give
the
it.
it's the money part of it. If you didn't
Fuck it, I want to just give this whole country to China anyway. Let's just destroy the country and then let China buy it.
Why do we keep saying we? It's not no we. Right. We ain't doing nothing. We just what they call that collateral damage when it comes to everything around here.
But wait a minute. But if we stop looking
look, like I said, this ain't no the United States. This ain't it's a business. It's not a country. It's none of that. They don't give that who buying shares and what and this and that. And all kind of people got hands in over here.
And that's why if you're paying attention to what's actually going on right now, you will start seeing that you will have way and far more opportunity as purchasing, buying, having money in your pocket, looking at generational wealth. But so many people get stuck on stupid stuff and they're not looking at the gist of things. They're not looking at what actually is going on and what you can gain by looking at us being at war in the United States right now. If we up for sale then when we start clearing out the plank, what you think gonna be up for sale then? Because everybody that done bought, they can't hire illegals no more. They can't do certain things that they were getting away with because a lot of them gonna start falling and crumbling. Because then you're gonna see where the money was going at. You could trace things back then. Right now, it feels like everything is in the black because you can't see until you clear your rooms out. Then you'll be able to see. That's why you got to pay attention to the bills and the laws.
Can I tell you why I keep saying we? Do you have a birth certificate and do you have a social security card? If you have either one, you are a part of the corporation. That's almost like saying a janitor that the company that he works for, that he's not a part of that company. You're a part of the corporation, sir. Like if you work in the corporation, you're a part of it. If you have an EIN, a SSN, birth certificate, hell, green card, if you're issued a number by the corporation, you work for the corporation, you're a part of the corporation, you live in the corporation, you're a part of the corporation, period.
Right. So you
have a driver's license.
Listen. So are they taking advantage of us? Where's our benefits and our shares in this corporation? So now are we doing more? Are we doing the more? Hold on. Let me just say this. Are we doing the more thing? We say this is, you can get the money. I have yet to see us get any money out of this Social Security thing and this birth certificate. The more was pushing, got dang it in 2013. So I heard that this is a corporation and we're part of it, but they have been out there saying, yeah, we can get money for this and that. And where's it at? Right now, you can drive without license. Look, how about this one? You can drive without license. Your ass get pulled over and get killed. Remember that one girl that got killed trying to do that more stuff? Remember that one?
I'm not even talking about more stuff. If you work for any corporation, the first thing they give you is a number. It's called an employee ID number. That's all the social security number is. The same thing that you get when you own a business. You have an EIN. It's called a employer identification numbers, right? So bottom line is that we're not even a person. You're a number. I'm a number. I have a number in the corporation. So as much as you're saying, okay, well, we shouldn't be thinking about we. Well, whether we want to admit it or not, we are a part of the corporation, right? So you have any document that America issues.
You bring that up, but listen. You bring that up. How are we benefiting to being a part of this corporation? Should we separate the corporation? We're out there trying to separate from the corporation by talking about how we can help our own. So that's why I
don't exactly know.
That's why I say we're not we. When we're doing these conversations, no, it's not we, because they included us in something that we're not really trying. They added us to it with this corporation stuff that you're saying.
So here's the thing. So if China were to attack all those bases at once that they have farmland next to, would it not affect us? As a attack.
No,
it doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how. No, you're not. This is my point, right? Because you're saying that we're not connected. We're not any way affected or connected. We are just outliers in the situation. But
did we as a people get a vote to say, hey, no, man, we don't let them buy that? No, we ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't our land. Even that ain't our land. You know, that's somebody else took over that land. So now that's their right to sell it to whoever they want. Now, if they that dumb to let them, and whoever's next to it, why ain't they buy it? Why ain't the military base buy the goddamn land? Why did they let China buy the land right there next to it? Something ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up.
I agree. There might be something to that. You know what?
Well, you know,
I'll yield to your point. You know that.
Yeah, we have to go along because another thing is with them buying land close to the base, they're gonna destroy their own land.
Exactly. Yeah. We
You
got
know,
to know
that's
how
also things to look at. But let's get back a bit on topic, and that is immigration affecting the black farmers. You know.
Well, hell, that's the same topic because China, those are immigrants that are running like farmland next to the base.
I'm going with that.
You need to figure out how to get them motherfuckers up out of here and get their
No,
land
but that ain't the
and give
same,
it to the
though.
black farmers and figure out how to like
So
run that
what we
shit.
go- how are we going to strategically place ourselves to counteract this movement? Because it's a movement. What are we going to do as a collective body of people melanated to counteract and then bring support to our black farmers that can support them? Because you're going to need farmers because you need food, shelter, raiment, transportation, and you need a military to protect your interests. Where are we going to get these things from? Who are we going to?
We need to first start finding. We need to find other farmers as well, Bob. You got to find other. You got to find other
That's why
farmers.
we got to start networking. We got to start
Exactly.
networking.
Let her finish that thought because that's exactly what I was going to say. The black farmers
Here in the state of Georgia.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we got the first thing that we have to do, we have to find other farmers because we need to find with other farmers what the actual concerns are within them too. Because if we don't have the other farmers to bring what their concerns are, what their issues are, what their stoppers are, then you don't have a battlefield surrounding that as well. So we need to bring people in that's going through those issues, find out what they are, and then pinpoint and target, because we can speak to Baba, but Baba don't own a farm. So what we got to do, we got to speak to Jamie. Jamie owns a farm. Jamie tells us what his concerns are. We add him to the list. We can speak to this person. We find out what their concerns are. We add it to the list. And then we compile and see what we need to do and how we need to build around whatever the concerns are, whatever we see going on. Then we can focus with bullet points, because then you got to go through a checklist. And I could kind of see it, but I also want, and I appreciate Jamie too, but I want to speak to another farmer as well to even hear what those concerns are, because I'm gonna look a lot of this stuff up.
We'll get some more. I love to get the guy that's over the Black Farmers Association.
Yes.
Bring him on. We need to get him on and just talk to him, because if he filed a lawsuit and did all that, let's see what's going on, because once he did his deal, you know, we need to get him on. So we need to reach out to him and then because we got to find a target. It's going to be the farmers.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I was asking questions to understand more of the background, because we know what some concerns are, but those concerns are concerns that, okay, I mean, because these particular concerns that we're looking at, I mean, we're looking at stuff like that across the board, especially when it comes to black. But what can we do in this particular industry to pinpoint what they're doing? Because honestly, there's things that I see as red flags and just some of the conversations that we've had here. And I'm definitely gonna look into it. That's why
I think we need to also find the prison system and how Angola can put its whole prison on a plantation and find out, like, Jamie says that he owns what, 200,000 acres of land, right? Is that what you said?
2300, 23 to 2400.
Yeah, 23 to 2400 acres that I farm. I own. I personally own about 240 or 50 acres of my own, and we own together as a family 480 acres.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys farming all that land, or are you renting out some of that land too?
No. I farm 2,400 acres of land.
Yeah.
You
say 200. Your family has 480 and you own 230.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it here.
Okay, I heard it wrong. I don't know why I heard 200,000. I don't know what that was.
That's
Yeah.
200,000 bushels of corn that I'm gonna harvest.
Oh, okay, that's what it was, 200,000. So look, can I ask you a question? So
yes,
the white farmers, right, when they have like an equal amount of corn, how much of that corn is really good versus bad? And do they sell bad corn to our grocery, or is it like what happens?
No. We're not selling corn to the grocery store.
Right, no.
The corn that we selling it to like the port.
Big ports.
It's going directly on barges. Yeah, the corn that I grow and sell, it's not going in a grocery store.
Oh wow.
No.
Okay, so
There's no, how can we even? What about Africa? Like, have you have you thought about like making a connection?
Yeah, let me explain it to you like this. So the corn that I sell is the same corn that makes cornmeal, grits, hominy, like that. So like the corn, like when you get a boiled ear of corn, that's sweet corn. It's not the same as field corn. What I grow in large acreage is field corn. That makes like the cornmeal and hominy and cornmeal batter and that kind of stuff.
Perishable.
Yeah, yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's perishable.
How do we support that? I mean, how can we as regular people, can we do in that situation to be able to support that? And
remember DJ Genesis earlier when you was trying to say that, I'm like, well, I said, well, we can't really help him because we're not gonna buy no 30 bushels of So that's why I said they had to come together.
They own like a
form a
city
coalition. Let me tell you a little plan that if I said it before, form some kind of coalition where all the black farmers work together, and then they be the person find out who they can sell it to as a team or something. We give it all to whoever needed in India or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be on the other. We got to be in the part where they dealing with the people right now who they got to sell it to. We need to be in their positions to okay, we're gonna allocate it over here. You see what I'm saying? That's
so
it go global.
Yeah, it goes back.
Yeah, it gotta be more global.
You have to like be in other countries. Yeah.
Yeah,
it goes back to what I said earlier. What Jamie is basically saying, as we talked about, it's a lack of resources. That's why you have a lot of the white, like he said, the good old boys, they're able to find the contracts with the certain particular big companies that can help them push from them to get to where they need to go and still make substantial income from it. So it's the resource part, it's the connection part, it's the contracts in it that need to be tidied up.
Probably own their own trucks, ships, planes, airplanes, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, imagine like a thing like Bill Gates. I think he makes all the French fries for McDonald's. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let's stick to the plan. Like how before we get to Bill Gates, we need to figure out like all the black farmers work together, right? And then we need a sales team to sell it to whatever country we trying to deal with. I'm not trying to cut your wisdom, DJ, I promise. I'm saying before we even then we get somebody presented maybe to a. We don't even want to deal with Bill Gates. He's.
No, I'm talking like it's the reason why Bill Gates is successful is because he has a fast food chain behind him. So if you were to like go to a country
we ain't trying to fool with Bill Gates. At least on my plan.
No, I'm not. No, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
That's part of the show. You're doing the devil's advocate thing, so people.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
For these people,
hear me. No, man, nigga, you're not hearing me out. What I'm saying is that
you all in left field. We try to strategize. I mean, I'm just keeping.
I'm trying to explain to you something.
Go ahead. You got it.
You have to have a place for the stuff to go to. Okay, so I'm just giving that as an example. Bill Gates sells fries to McDonald's. McDonald's is a real estate corporation that has multiple chains around the whole entire country for his potatoes to go to, right? So if you have a corn plant like this guy does, he would need a place similar or equivalent to that to be able to shuck off all this corn, whether it be a place that manufactures, well, he does cotton and corn. So he would have to have something equivalent to that, whether it be a chain food. So there's black chains that we can say, hey, look, so you like buying your corn through whatever distributor.
Why we can't deal with the Nigerian billionaires over there? Why we got to deal with Bill? Let's cut Bill Gates out.
We not dealing with none of them.
I ain't trying to food
You're
no
not
McDonald's
listening to me.
because they poisoning the food anyway. You know, you can leave a McDonald's burger out for like 5 months and it's still gonna look like a burger. The same thing as a fry. So we're not trying to deal with Bill Gates, McDonald's, none of that. We're trying to strategize for our own, grow our own food. We're growing our own food. We ain't dealing with Bill Gates. Uh-oh, look, pit bulls fight.
Listen, Pounder, there is a brother who's a billionaire in Angola, Africa. His name is Dante.
That's what we need to be talking about. Go ahead, Elder.
Yeah, Dante. You want to create a logistic, whereas the coin gets to a particular company that's dealing with him. He buys stuff. He has access to containers and stuff to get that across to Africa.
Resources.
Create a co-op of farmers who want to be a part of the co-op to ship their goods overseas. Okay, his name is Dante. He's out of Angola, Africa. Queen, put him up, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
His name is Dante out of Angola, Africa. I had a chance to talk to one of his young salesmen about 5 years ago, who is from Tallulah, Louisiana.
That's right.
And I had a chance to talk to him. This man is a billionaire, and it's about 30 of them in Angola that are billionaires.
Okay, now stop there, Elder. Stop there. Now, you see what I'm saying, DJ Genesis? We got to think beyond Bill Gates and the guy that created Steve Jobs and all these other cats. What's his name? The Tesla guy. If we still doing business with them, then we still gonna be in the same goddamn position because they don't have our best.
I never said to do business with them. I think that you missed my point. You're
okay.
Do you hear what I'm saying? You're not listening to me.
I listen. No, Bill Gates is out of there. We don't. Well, I understand. You want to work
No,
with
you don't understand. No, I never said to work with Bill Gates.
Tell me what you're trying to do. Go ahead.
No, I gave him an example.
Time out a second. Hey, time out. Hey, can the farmer interject?
Please.
Yeah, can
the farmer interject?
Can the farmer get in there? Go ahead.
For a minute, because y'all trying to come up with how to help farmers, and neither one of you farmers. So let me explain to you how the farmers say we should be helping the farmers. Okay, one thing that we could do to help us, and when I say us, I mean farmers. Instead of all of us, we need to some kind of way figure out who we all are. Instead of us being sprinkled all over the country like little dots in this big old sugar bowl, one dot here, one dot over there, and one dot over there. And once we figure out who we all are and get us all on a list, we need to join one organization and form one cooperation to where, say for instance, if I've got corn and Leroy in Arkansas has a hog farm and he needs to buy corn to feed his hogs, well, maybe I can sell him some corn to feed his hogs, and maybe he can sell me some pork so I can feed some of the people on this end. And if Sue in Kentucky, where they have a lot of horses, if she need grain for her horses, maybe I can sell her some grain for her horses, and maybe she can sell me some horses because my granddaughter may want to, is actually entering into veterinary school in a year or so, and she wants horses. So the first thing we need to do, the first thing we need to do is identify who we are, where we all are, and what we all do, or grow, or raise. And once we do that, then we can make a corporation.
There you go.
And I don't mean that we all in business together. It basically means that, for instance, I'll use these numbers. Say if we have a large percentage of row crop farmers, well, now we all need chemicals. We can buy chemicals in bulk. We can buy seed in bulk. Like for all of the the people that grow animals and they need hay. We can buy hay in bulk. You know, somebody may have pastures and somebody may have hay, but the person over in Texas need hay, but the person in Arizona got hay.
That's my point.
So what I'm saying is the first thing we need to do is figure out who we all are, where we all at, and put us all in touch together.
Thank you for saying
And
that.
then we can unify as one group.
Yep.
And if we just buy and sell or kind of do business amongst ourselves, we possibly could help each other without needing the white man, period.
Period. You got to get the resources. It's basically going back to a directory. You need the resources. We need to find the other farmers. Just like I said, you got to connect. You got to find the other farmers to get what they need and connect those dots with bullet points.
And it's 4,000. What they say, 4,500 black farmers. So we need to get like
46,000,
45,000,
45,000.
You know, 50,000 rounded off. But I'm saying,
right. Okay.
And the directory is a good idea. You know, networking, like he said, with the pigs, the corn, the horses, the truck drivers, you know, dispatchers, everything.
I'm a software engineer. I can create that.
It all has to circulate within the community, and I yield.
Great job, man.
I'm a software engineer. I can create a database like that. I can do that.
And see, I'm already a certified freight forwarder. 56 years. I've been in the business. I've been through the school, and I know people how to put the trucks and the shipper and the logistics together to get it where it's going. You know. And
then you also have to stay on these politicians' heads. Like y'all making all these promises, like especially election year. And then, you know. And then,
some about a unified group carries that kind of weight, man. When you walk in there, and that's like the gays that went in and got their thing going. We got enough black folks. You walk in, your numbers speak. They're gonna listen because
you have to have some kind of political pact. If you have to form some kind of political pact. We know we just go out and vote, but do we actually like start like politicking with somebody to actually like you got to get money for yourself? You have to spend money. So we have to put money behind somebody in government that's going to fight. I mean,
let me let you know, Jamie,
30 seconds of enlightenment to the people. I mean, y'all see like y'all challenging me. I mean, I'm gonna yield back, you know, but you know,
hey, you know, we have a young lady here.
I'm gonna go do another show.
We have a young lady here that's really young, and she's a youth person.
I'm sorry,
and I wanted to like.
I'm gonna sit back and listen for the rest of the show, man.
No.
You know, because like I gotta fight for talk time, man. It's like we gotta have some order.
Look, man, then we apologize, man. I do.
I could just go on my own and just talk to myself, man. Shit, at least I'm listening. Anyway, let me just say
my
this.
bad. I was just trying to like say
there you go again. I mean, come on, sis. I'm not trying to take over, and then I just want to build and add to the show. That's it. I'm sharing it everywhere. Everybody, you know, I mean, we're a team over here. It's a good combination of people that we have over here. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody got to outshine. I ain't trying to outshine nobody. I'm just trying to get the information out there because this is important stuff. You know, so when you sometimes you include other, well, what about these people now? Well, it ain't no we ain't no, it's us. It's us right now. That's the problem. We master house burning down. It ain't our house. We might have built it on our slave of our backs, but if we don't own the motherfucker, we don't own it. You know, we done a lot for this country, and we always get the short end of the stick. So a lot of these topics is very important. We have so many we can cover every day. That's why we need to really take it serious and always come up with some kind of solution at the end of the discussion, like you said. So that's what I'm saying. You know, we got to get some kind of political pact. Like people, I went out and voted, but like you said, like the elder said, the LGBT they spent money with Obama. That's why he got them all them rights. You know, they became a political plaque. Now you can't say nothing. We need to get like that. We become some kind of force. You know what? Hey, you better not say Blackie. You hear me? You know, they be scared to say it. Scared to say Doctor. You hear me? Shit. I mean, oh man, you can't say Jew. What are you doing saying it? That's what you call yourself, Jewish? What the hell going on? You see? So I mean, I'm passionate about stuff like this. So I hope I don't come across rude or out of pocket. But no, sometimes when I do that, and it ain't no competition, and I ain't trying to compete. I'm saying let's stick to the focus. Let's stick to the focus. You know,
we love you, bro.
Love y'all too.
So Addie had a question. What's your question, Addie? Go ahead.
So, okay. So my question is, why not just do a what was it called? I just had it in my brain because I've been thinking about this a lot too. Because I know a lot of farmers, like a lot of like big business farmers that do trade routes. If you want, I can get their numbers out to y'all because they have like a whole trading business and stuff. And it's fully functional, and it's all over across the United States.
You go, brother Jamie. It ain't wrong with having, some good sources and resources.
You hear that, James? Would that be useful to you?
What kind of farm businesses are they in, Addie?
I'm not really sure. I know some of them do graining cornfields. There's one that does like fruit fields, milk, livestock. I actually have family that lives next to the livestock fields and the cornfields. So just do everything, and it's all like connected to each other, I guess.
I'm gonna, because I'm also close with my Yaya, who actually owns a kennel, and there's different connections and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that.
She also owns a cornfield, Queen. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
We'll get you the information of James offline, Queen, and connect us together to help him with whatever he's got going on. This is not only just a conversation just about what we can do in the future, but if we can help you right now in the present, let's do it. Shouts out to Addie for that connection, and we'll go from there. Also, this is a. I know it's like we're just up here like kind of arguing with each other, but really like we're passionate about something. It's passion. It's just passion.
Right. Jamie didn't say this, but Jamie is actually one of the state representatives in Louisiana. He works with the railroad.
Hey, tell her to put it in the email. I'm sorry, I thought y'all was just over talking. Yeah, put your information for him in the email. You in the back. Once we're on the stage, you can just put it in the private chat. Then he can get the information right there.
Right. Jamie can tell you about his
email there, Addie.
And he is involved in politics very much so. I've been working with Jamie as a part of his political team, and he's running for representative, and he's a part of the political work, and he knows a lot of people in Louisiana and across the line. So he's already in a lot. As a matter of fact, we were working on that. So he's running for state representative in the next upcoming election.
That's what's up.
We need people around the table to discuss things that we need to do. So we need a seat around the table rather than being on the table. So Jamie's already involved. We've got 4 other people involved, and myself, I'm running for city council. In my time, they wanted me to run for mayor, but I didn't want that. I'm 79. Come on, old for council, young for war. I don't mind being in an advisory, but I want young people to get involved, because if you don't get involved, help make the laws and change policies, we'll just, like a feather in the wind. So James is already involved, and we got a few other people that's involved on the political scales that are tied to farmers. Yep. So Queen, we want to get this thing set up. Like what Mandingo said, get this corporation set up. That's then when you move as a unit, as a movement, you get more respect than an individual.
You better know it.
I yield.
I got the notes for you, Barbara, Mandika, DJ, Edward. I got it. I'm gonna look over all of this. I'm gonna see what we can put in perspective. We come back to the plan board, and because we need to have bullet points, we need these notes documented the right way so that we'll know which direction we need to start going in. Because for right now, we can easily be all over the place. And I'm not one as a Capricorn and me, and then dealing with a dad, military man, 6'7", 6'8". I get it. And he's like this, and I'm like that. So I may come off a little tough at times, but when I'm talking to like serious business, it's on a different level for me when it comes to this. So I definitely get it, understand it. And this is so important till when we connect one dot, when you get one thing going, you will not understand and believe how the domino effect will start falling in place. Right now, we're putting everything together, and now we can get to work. We're getting the work. We're rolling now. What you was gonna say, Mandika? Because Mandika, you on mute.
No, that's real talk, you know. And we can only like let's strategize on one thing at a time, because there's so much we got to deal with, you know. So we put a lot out there, but this is a good thing that we should plan and strategize. So
that's right.
Yeah, let's not make this last topic, because the farmers, hey man, they've been getting cut out. Our people getting cut out. The land's already stolen. So this is why, you know, like when you said China stuff, I mean, man, that's their fault.
Yeah.
You know, that's their fault. Man, what you doing? You didn't know the land was for sale, Army base, right there next to you. You didn't know? Come on, man. Stop playing with us. Y'all working together. That ain't right. They look all the tolls. See, look, we go pay for the tolls. That ain't our money. That don't go to the not our money, but you know that ain't United States money. They go to other countries.
We gonna get all
driving the streets. It's a game, man.
Yeah, we gonna get it together.
Hey James, James, I want to ask you too. Do you know about like some of the things where like the farmland has been getting like stolen from black farmers? I've seen a few situations recently where, like, you know, there's one black farmer. I'm not sure if this is a real true story, but he says that he inherited a farm by a white family, and he's been fighting like for years to try to get his farm back. Are you aware of that situation where he had like animals on the farm and everything?
No, I've never heard of a black person inheriting a farm from a white person. I don't know nothing about that news now.
Yeah, well, it was weird. It was like the family ended up dying in a plane crash.
Yeah. Obviously, he probably worked on that farm, something to that nature, maybe. And they trying to deny him the inheritance that maybe the people that got killed on the crash. Right. You know, now that's kind of what what sounds realistic to me. Say, for instance, you know, this young man may work on a farm for all of his life, and the family that owned it is getting old. And they may not have no biological kids for themselves, but, you know, they might have some brothers and sisters and all. But this old Tom has been dedicated to us for years. We're going to leave this farm to him if something happened to us. And then, like you said,
that's what happened. The family swoop in.
Now that sounds realistic, but I don't know nothing about it. So let me tell you some stories that when it comes to white people and property and how they handle themselves. Like I told y'all, in the industry that I'm in, most of the families that I'm friends with in this industry are white folks. They're white farm families. You know, I'm not saying that we best of friends, but you know, I have to deal with them because when I go to the farm supply store, 90% of the people in there are white. Most of the customers in there are white. Well, if I go to a farm meeting, 95% of the folks in there are white. So what I'm saying is I've grown to deal with these folks over years. So I wouldn't just tell you about an experience that I know firsthand. So there was a father that had two sons. And that father and those two sons were farming. And I know this because, like I'm saying, this farm is right next door. The father passed away when I was probably 17, 18. When he passed away, he left the farm to the two brothers, split equally. One of the brothers had a stroke. because he was the kind of dude that he was in high gear all the time. And the way he kind of lived, worked, walked, he was one of these high-paced persons. So you could tell by just the way he was, he had like high adrenaline. And it wasn't surprising when you heard Jimmy Ray had a stroke. He did. So it left him where he couldn't work. It left him with all kind of health problems. So on his dying bed, on his dying bed. Now this is the story that was told when he passed away. On his dying bed, he left his part of the farm to his brother instead of his 3 children. Now, Jimmy Ray, mind you, Jimmy Ray was divorced and he never remarried, but he had 3 children. He had 3 children, but on his dying bed, he leaves his part of the farm to his brother and not his 3 kids. Do you believe that?
No,
Okay.
not 1 kid. That don't sound right.
Right. Okay.
No.
But at the funeral, his brother walks in and show this man children that's grieving over their dad that's laying there in a casket dead, and tell his 3 children that your daddy left his part of the farm to me.
That's when you should have contested it right there in the court.
Well, so I'm just saying,
yeah,
that's the kind of stuff they do.
Yeah.
So
that's similar to the story that happened is, with this guy is that it was a woman that had a farm and
it wouldn't
she
surprise me at
was
all.
her family. Next thing you know, like her brother and his family, like I guess they were like a Christian organization, and he moved the brother and the family in, and then they just started squatting, and they took over the whole farm, and they sold the animals that he had on the farm and everything. Then the next thing was that something happened to where they end up getting into a plane crash. So even though they were fighting him for years over this farmland, they end up dying. And so now the city is still trying to hold this land and not give it to the black guy. Crazy, right? That's like some
that need to be paid more attention to, then, right?
Yeah,
that type of spotlight needs to be put on that.
Can you?
I'm gonna try to find it. I'm trying to find it.
May I ask a small question?
Sure, go ahead.
What? Okay, just because I wasn't here for like the beginning of it, why are all these farms like getting stolen and stuff?
Can't hear you, Ed. You gotta speak up a little bit. We can't hear you.
Sorry, why are all these farms like being taken and stuff? You don't mind me asking. I wasn't here for the beginning. I apologize.
Why are the farms being taken? For various reasons, for money, for wealth, the ownership, to own the land, to take it because they think they could get away with it.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
Can I answer your question too? Like I said, this is nothing new. It's been going on for a long time, and the government they promised us 40 acres and a mule and stuff like that after Emancipation Proclamation. That's the freedom of so-called freedom of the black man and woman. You know, even though I don't know if you're young or not, but you probably don't even have in your history book, that slavery even happened. They just trying to erase that to my migrant workers. See, it's his story. His story. You can change it how you want. The same thing goes for government stuff. Because to the victor goes the spoils. You see what I'm saying? Whatever happened before we got here, somehow they got in charge of this over here. Whoever was here wasn't protecting it right. All this, I ain't trying to get out court. I'm a black Aboriginal. The top cat over there telling me he a black Aboriginal Indian. I'm like, well, bro, what happened? I mean, how come y'all wasn't guarding this? You showed all these little warrior guys and all that back in the day. Well, what happened, brother? Because you hate Africa. You know, he preached he hate Africa. So you got organizations. Everybody has. I know I'm all over the place, Miss Abby Bug, because this is you know, you got to, you know, don't muster it around and catch up with us. You know what I'm saying? Because we, you know, so I can go back to the beginning of things, but right now they have a whole strong hold over everything spiritually, physically. It's these people that's in charge. But then it's people from all over though. It's people from all over because now they got people buying stuff in here. We paying money to people who don't even own that supposedly didn't run the country, but they got stakes in the country. So this is a corporation, like they said, it's a business. So this is why they do what they do. You know, I don't know how young you are. I'm not even going to ask that, but you sound like you're younger. You actually sound like you don't even sound like, you know, African American. I don't know. So if you got connections to, you know, we hip to some abolitionists to come in and help us, you know, but you still be watching. In this new movement, we watching everything. You
Hey,
make sure
listen.
you genuine and secure, you know, genuine with us. You know, you hear me? So, you know, but I know that. Well, how can I help? And a couple of sources cool, but we're really trying to just keep this like, you know, us. You know, that's just how it goes, man. Because there's too many times. But then even with us, we had infiltrators that come in. Every organization, the church, the mosque, the 5%ers, the nations of God, the earth, Islam. It's always somebody. It don't matter what the skin tone is. Money will change what you know what to do. What you shouldn't. You know, you switch up. It's always gonna be an infiltrate. So it's not.
I want to show this
Go ahead,
video.
DJ. Go ahead, DJ. Show the
Let me
video.
show this farm.
My name is Derek Williamson. I'm the young black farmer out of Georgia whose life was catastrophically flipped upside down by the brutal might of injustice. I'm the young black farmer that believes that no matter who you are, you have a right to pursue your dream. My dream just so happened to be to connect humans and animals in a symbiotic relationship, promoting conservation, education, and animal therapy initiatives was my farm and ministry purpose. I would find myself being kicked off my land for over 2 years now. I find myself being convicted of stalking a chief magistrate court judge that I've never spoken to outside of court or ever seen outside of court before. My animals were stolen, slaughtered, and rehomed against my will on the land that I own. People that I thought was there to help us and the gifts that they gave to further the ministry were mingled in deceit and corruption. I'll never stop telling the story. Help.
This gentleman is trespassing on my property, causing havoc and harassing me in my situations here. Tag plate, individual, Mr. Hardy, leave this property now.
See?
This is the type of stuff that's going on in these properties. And then let's not even get into how some of the farmers are getting like their property destroyed, like their actual land destroyed, like fires getting put onto them. So on top of just the regular stuff going with the USDA and
Whoa, you moving too fast, Genesis. Wait a minute. I ain't heard nothing about no properties being destroyed in this story. I heard, folks messing with him because he got different animals getting along in unison. Now they all in his business. You didn't add another twist to the story. I got to see part 2 to that part before we can even elaborate on that. Damn. Come on, you got to slow it down. Please. I mean, that was what he said was a lot. And it's like, why are they messing with this young man?
That's it.
That part. How we talking about? But then it's like this is Genesis, please just stick to this, the one thing at a time, because the audience is listening. And they're like, well, dang, what happened? And you go to a whole other story so fast. We got to slow it down. I know this is your panel, but I'm just asking, please, can you just slow it down just a little bit? That's a lot. I mean, What do you think, Queen 62? I mean,
I was.
I'm in my mind. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in because I want to know. First of all, I see he had a connection with the Caucasian side. What was this connection? What did y'all have? How did you end up with them? Where is the rest of the family? Why was there no help for you? Where's and it's a whole lot of questions on this.
Well, white Jesus. Yeah, I like this. Yeah. Well, where was the security? If you running something like that, what do you? It's like I didn't see none of the brothers and sisters working with him. Which I mean, sometimes maybe they give up on his people, or and just like okay, I think he's like, no, the ones I thought was going to help me. Did you hear what he said? They let me down. But I didn't see like 10 other, like it was like 10 other brothers would have been one like, yeah, and then he pointed back, the ones that I thought were going to help me, let me down. Then I'll be like, okay, now what the hell going on? You know? But then that whole thing, like, I was thinking the same thing. Well, you out there by yourself, man. Where's your team? You can't be out in these certain spots like that by yourself. You got to have a whole crew. That's why farmers got to unite. Like we were saying, you gotta hire something good, guard the land. Something gotta change, man, because you're vulnerable out there by yourself, man. You got extortioners, killing his animals.
Let me play the video.
Let me land my train 3 seconds. Killing his animals and stuff like that. There's a lot said, and y'all just keep on to skip past, man. You know what? I'm gonna end my night. I thank you for letting me be over here. I appreciate it.
I'm going to show you
I'm going out there to chill out. It's all good. I mean, I ain't throwing no temper tantrum, nothing, but I'm just
I'm going to show you the context now. I'm going to show you the context. I don't want you to leave though. Don't leave. This is really important.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
Can't hear it?
No. Hit that mute button.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
You have covered our story. Most people may think that the premiere video I posted of myself coming home from my brother's fatal motorcycle accident scene, only to see Jordan in my bedroom in the center of my bed harassing me the day of my brother's death. That video got over 760,000 views. And a lot of you may not know that there's actually much more to the story than what happened that day. Her family are trying to steal my farm from me and my animals home. So it's a lot of backstory to that. So Jay Megan, thank you so much for covering this story and helping everybody understand what's going on. So if you have not watched the other videos about, about the corruption that the judge is doing to me, I've been kicked out of my home, and it's been almost a year now that I have the deed to, and she's given my property that's in my company's name as 100% shareholder and sole shareholder. She's given my property over to these people and kicked me out when I filed in the courts and filed these orders to have them removed and evicted. She dismisses my eviction.
Yeah. So he married her. She took his money.
No. It's the lawyer. The lawyer. I mean, the judge. The judge of the county is. So there's so basically what happened is he was giving a farm from a lady. They were a part of a Christian organization. He worked the farm, and when she died, she passed it down to him. She didn't have any children or something like that. Something to that effect. So then I guess the brother and his family came and moved into the farm and then began to take over the whole situation. But she had given it and deeded it over to him and his company, and he was running it. And then I think they said that something was going on. They was homeless or whatever. So he let them live there. And something to that effect, right? He invited someone said,
they like rightfully there. This my mama type of situation. Well, where are you coming from, Darky? Well, what is this?
Let me finish.
Hey, that's what it is. Get back. That's what it is. Not turning on the farm. He stole the farm from us in the first goddamn.
Sleep in my bed. So that's a lot. They say thank y'all for applying pressure.
So what happened? So basically, he has been fighting this guy Derek for wildlife. Okay, he has been going through this whole time. These people
That's my last time telling you. Put your hands on me again. I'm gonna let you have it. Get out of the house.
So they're trying to kick him. So they're fighting him in his own house.
Who's the, hold on, wait, who's the girl? See, the girl is her family. See,
No,
who the girl?
These are people that are her family.
Right.
Okay, so stop. Let's evaluate that. So was she really that close to him? You know what I'm saying? And here come her family. I'm telling you, all that's a setup. All they said he out there by himself. He got comfortable of being out there by himself. Where was his cousin Maine and Polo and you know what I'm saying?
Pookie and Nuck Nuck.
Pookie Nuck Nuck. You know what I'm saying? Man, I know a lot of us don't like to be out there doing farming and stuff, man, but this is tough. This stuff you got to do hard work, man. You know, we got to. I know it's like these jobs I be on. Don't be enough of us on there. It don't. And you can put the word out, hey, man, they hiring, they doing it, man. You know, learn some trade with your hand, trades, sheet metal work, carpentry, roofing. Them the things we need. That's also important to a black man.
I mean, it's too much to show this whole thing, this whole saga. It's a lot, but basically, like I said, what it boils down to is he was given the property. The family comes in, he lets them stay with him. They plot to take the land over. They end up dying or something like that in some weird way in a plane accident. And then now
stop. Wait a minute. You can see now who died?
The people that took over the property. So imagine.
All right, let's talk about that. Now, what happened with that? Did he what? Did he go get recruits? I mean, how they died?
They were in a plane accident. So
listen to this. Listen to this right here. If y'all can hear it, listen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. So just a quick little update. I'm getting ready to go into court in just a second. As y'all know, I've been fighting for my farm for years now against the corrupt Hardy family and the definitely corrupt judicial system in Morgan County, Georgia. Just the last update I didn't let you guys know about until now today that we know that Janet and James Hardy passed away in a plane crash in February. So with all litigation, you would think that everything is over. I was the undisputed owner of my farm before, and I am currently the undisputed owner. Right.
Karma's a bitch.
Work like that. So on December 26th of 2024, so less than 60 days before they were killed in their plane crash, they went and filed a fraudulent deed impersonating the CFO of my company, impersonating an officer of my company, and fraudulently about my company, the deed out of my company's name.
Not test God's anointed.
So we can see that now. I get the basics of this.
What is a fraudulent deed?
All right. So see, when you get to mess with good people, karma comes back on you.
I have a quick question.
So we supposed to feel sorry? Hold on, Abigail. We ain't supposed to feel sorry for this. Why was y'all trying to steal? And after a while, karma comes back on you when you keep doing people wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong. Sometimes your time is up for doing that evil shit. And that's what happened in the case with the plane crash. I'm just being honest. Are we supposed to be like, oh man, damn? No, because y'all was doing evil shit. Stop doing evil shit and you'll live a long, healthy life. Are you?
So basically what happened is that they stole his farm after somebody gave it to him. The family came in, swooped in, tried to take it over. They end up getting killed. And now the government is still trying to uphold some kind of fake things that they've been like documents. I mean, it's just crazy. So what I'm trying to show is that people are not like, aside from using false documents to try to get money from the USDA, trying to get control of people's farms, trying to get control of land. And I really wanted to show this stuff where you actually get people that are doing these heinous things to black farmers.
Two black
Let's go.
ranchers in rural El Paso County say their cries for help and allegations of racism have been largely ignored by the sheriff's office for years.
And you've likely heard some of the Mallory story, which has been shared thousands of times on social media now. Those viral posts have led to national scrutiny.
What'd you say?
Could y'all hear it, or maybe I couldn't hear it?
You couldn't hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
Two black ranchers in rural El Paso County say their cries for help and allegations of racism have been largely ignored by the sheriff's office for years.
And you've likely heard some of the Mallory story, which has been shared thousands of times on social media now. Those viral posts have led to national scrutiny over how the El Paso County Sheriff's Office has handled more than 2 years of disputes between the couple and their neighbors. Now they're speaking exclusively to Denver 7 on camera together for the first time.
And Denver 7's Micah Smith has tonight's exclusive that now has El Paso County deputies defending their actions.
Farming while black in America. Farming while black in America.
The voice you hear is Nicole Mallory's, and the person being arrested is her husband, Courtney C.W. Mallory. The Mallorys are black ranchers in rural El Paso County and say this moment is the culmination of years of blatant racism by community members and the El Paso County Sheriff's Office's failure to respond.
A lot of their pets have been poisoned and killed. Some of their livestock has been poisoned and killed.
Dr. Vern L. Howard is teaming up with Portia Prescott and Rashad Younger from the NAACP to help the Mallorys.
Basically, the Mallorys have been harassed on their property and on their land.
At that point, it became very clear that they weren't necessarily safe.
Animals poisoned and killed, a couple feeling harassed and terrorized. Huge claims that we'll break down. But first, how do we go from the Mallorys being seen as victims to the ones in handcuffs? The El Paso County Sheriff's Office investigated and decided it was the Mallorys who were felony stalking their neighbor. We got our hands on the arrest affidavit. It focuses on multiple complaints from the Mallorys' next-door neighbor. It's clear there's years of animosity on both sides of this easement road, and it's this road that has been center stage for many of their interactions. Like CW and Nicole walking between the properties with their hands up, yelling, "Hands up, don't shoot." The affidavit mentioned a 19-page log that the neighbor maintained was supporting video and photos of each interaction she considered to be stalking. But when it came time for the investigation, it wasn't her cameras pointed at them, but the Mallorys' cameras pointed toward her property that deputies confiscated. With the affidavit in hand, we went to the Mallorys' ranch. It was a windy day, so we met inside our news car. After talking for nearly an hour, the Mallorys finally agreed to do their first sit-down interview with me.
You remove the only support that I have and the only other eyes I have to try to catch what's going on around me.
CW said the sheriff's office is using video caught on the neighbor's security cameras against him, but his cameras were removed. I asked him why he'd walk by their neighbor's home with hands in the air.
My cows were loose, so we went down there, got our cows, and we pushed them back the way they came out. And as I said, we need to put our hands up and say, please don't shoot us. We're just getting our cows. Please don't shoot. We're just getting our cows.
Let's be clear. I just want to revisit that. Me putting my hands up, us putting our hands up, and is a safety. As an African American,
it's been said a lot that this is a land dispute between neighbors. That's what it boils down to. And that you all or your neighbor could choose to avoid each other because you have so much land. What is your response to that?
Let me be clear about something. I do not have a neighbor dispute. My dispute is
more than anyone wants to ensure there is no racist behavior inside his department.
No one would be more eager than I to rid my office of a deputy sheriff who was racist and treating members of the community unfairly.
We started asking the El Paso County Sheriff's Office for records, reports, and interviews 5 days ago. We were denied and given a bill for thousands of dollars. There are many more allegations addressed by the sheriff Tuesday, including A conspiracy about a murdered ranch hand and the arrest of Nicole Mallory nearly 2 years ago when she fired a shot at a process server who had entered her private property without notice. I promise to follow up in more detail tomorrow on Denver 7.
And the El Paso County Sheriff.
So this is the type of stuff that's going on with this is not just only like the USDA and the money and the whatever. You also have to fight against other racist people attacking you on about your farm and things like that. And I'm show you a quick video of how they were burning down one.
No, we have evidence. We have evidence.
Right, show me the evidence.
Don't worry about it.
I see you got a game camera right there.
Mm-hmm.
Go pull your thing and show me where I've been on your property.
You mess with my fence post.
How did I mess with that fence?
That
post?
fence
No,
post.
I can't get there. Look at it. There's no tracks.
Okay.
I've not touched it. I have
Okay.
no reason to take it.
People go out of their way out of jealousy, because look how he lived. If y'all see his house, he lived a mess. And he gonna see something nice, and then yeah, you live horrible. And then you see something nice and you want to come over and ruin it out of jealousy and spite. You are a malicious, nasty person.
Land, a place they've worked hard for. Land, a place they've worked hard for. A place that should feel safe. But instead, they're being harassed by their white neighbors over and over again. There have been strange fires on their property, fires that don't just happen on their own. And when they tried to speak up, it only got worse. They called for help. They reached out to the authorities thinking someone would step in and do the right thing. But instead, they were met with silence, or worse, brushed off like their lives didn't matter. But they didn't back down. They caught them on camera. And now, it's time for the world to see it too. This isn't just about one family. This is bigger. This is about how racism shows up in real life. Quiet sometimes, but dangerous.
On fire. Inside of our property line. You don't think we should dial 911? Huh? Yeah, let me call real quick. They set our property on fire. What sloppy work.
My daughter tried to get in contact with the forestry people and tell them how bad the situation was. And I had a feeling that they totally ignored her, you know?
Yeah, they pretty much blew me off. They kind of like, when I said it's not just smoke, but it's flames by my fence. The guy that answered the phone, he just brushed it off. I thought that they would at least try to send somebody out here. The chief, for whatever reason, during the discussion about investigating this fire, he kept saying that, you know, the one back here is black, right? He's an older black man. You know he's black. He might have said that like 4 times. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm sitting here talking to you about an investigation for arson. Leave now. Hi. Hi, Charlie. What are you doing over here?
I believe I'm on my property. I live at 368 Edie Creek Road. That fence is marked your property road. My phone number is 678-967-9924. I moved your thing so I wouldn't run it over. I've not damaged anything. I've not gone over your fence.
Oh, wow.
Well, what?
Okay. Caught him red-handed. Look at him.
Red-handed. Red-handed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
This is the time they're on their property.
15, 16, 17. Dang.
So I want to ask you, hey, Jamie,
Yes.
are these experiences, have you ever experienced or know any farmers that's been going through stuff like this where you're at?
Not to my knowledge.
Wow. Wow. So I think some of those was in Georgia, right, DJ?
Yeah, it's so what's happening is not only just like the USDA thing, but it's like people, like if they have property next to each other, and people will, it's crazy. That was in Georgia, that last one, but the other one I think was in Colorado.
My son experienced the same thing in Louisiana. They have a hunting lodge, and the whites got a hunting lodge next to it, and they tried to come in and encroach on their hunting lodge. Now, these young men got about 500 acres that they already, that the guy that owns, and they hunt on, and they got what they call deer stands on them. And the whites were coming through there with 4-wheel ATVs running through the land, so they put a fence up. They knocked the fence down, so then they put up no trespass signs, right? Now, mind you, my son and these 3 other guys, they go strapped. When I say strapped, we shooting, we shooting heavy artillery. They ain't playing. We talking about 30-06, 7.5 millimeters, 7.5 SPs, shooting IRP shells, and then they got what they hunt with for deer, and I think just deer when most get deer, and they've had problems. So what the black guy did, and I loved it, he went and bought the land from the owner, so they couldn't keep doing it. So the land belonged to another black. So the guy went and bought the land from the guy that owned it, and they couldn't come there no more. So that's one thing they really say. But he had a lot of problems with them messing with their deer stands, going out there fooling with when they set the feeders up. So, man, so they thought it was a bear at first. It wasn't no bear, it was some damn crackers.
Did they get him?
Yeah, they got him. If the next time we catch you, you know what we're gonna do to you. You know, because y'all ain't no one got big guns. We got big guns.
You're bigger.
Okay. So
you know what?
You got to let them know that we don't play.
That's right.
See,
I think we uncovered a whole lot. I think we started at a very, very, very good timing spot right now. And it whew.
Hey, listen real quick. I can say this real quick, Queen. The disclaimer: we not waging war on y'all. We don't have no, you know what I'm saying, no drones and no missiles. Don't come bombing us like you did in Philadelphia. You know.
No, that's
we
right.
say we ain't no punks over here. We just let you know, without your weapons and stuff, like we did something like that, we line your line for 100 for 100, y'all would lose. You know it. So y'all got an advantage over y'all. Y'all had a 280-year wealth gap. Y'all stealing land. Y'all doing a lot. So this is why we're over here, DJ Detroit, JJ7K TV, Lions Den. You know, these are the channels formulating the real information. We got stars like Queen 6'2", the elder Baba YASHABIYAH. Hope I pronounced it right. I'm gonna get it right one day. We got a real life farmer. A real life farmer. You know, telling you what's going on. We got DJ Genesis, and then we got another person from another walk of life called Abby. She's calm and gentle, and you know. But hey, Abby, this is real life. You know, it ain't peaches and cream. I know you're a little young. I'm just telling you. We speak reality.
I know that I live on a farm with a bunch of dogs and a lot of property, so I'm not none of what's going on.
If I may ask, are you a sister or you come from the Caucasian persuasion? You know, because you could be one of them telemarketers and talk like them. You know, I used to telemarket like, yeah, hi, my name is Larry. I'm calling over here.
No, she's a Caucasian. She's a young girl.
We got the
She's
camera
18 years. Listen, she's 18 years old. She's a young girl.
Listen, you got to be aware is to be alive. So right. I, you know, come on. Because that's the problem now. We letting everybody all up in here and just embracing them, and then them be the ones, with the Freddy Krueger in your back type of shit going on. So we cannot be so friendly.
I'm Queen's goddaughter, so
turn your camera on. We need to see right now. Turn your camera on.
No, that's Queen's goddaughter.
Turn the camera on right now.
No.
There you go. Look, DJ. Nah. We need to see what's going on. That's all. Yeah, all right.
All right, so we're gonna listen. We've been here for 3 hours and a half, and that's how time has passed so fast. Man, this is crazy. So I want to get like a final word from each person. Let's start with Abby since she's the last person to join, and then we're gonna go throughout the whole thing and get like some final words, and then we're gonna come back here, and I think this is gonna be a part 2, huh? You think, Baba? This is a very important subject.
We have a series.
We'll come back and do another part of this. We want to thank Jamie Davis for being our guest on the show. And people, this is
we're gonna have him say something last when we end.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna step back. Go ahead.
Well, we're gonna have there you go. Hold on. Go ahead, Abby. What's up?
Well, firstly, everyone needs to be treated equally. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. The fact that no one's helping these, the darker skinned people is wrong. It's really messed up. Because in all realness, we're all just trying to survive out here in this economy. So stop focusing on race and skin color and start focusing on how everyone's human. Stop backpedaling and repeating history. We need to be going forward and treating everyone equally. So,
man, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Abby. All right, so who's next? Hold on. Yeah, much love, Abby. Okay, who is next? Okay. All right, Mandinka, go ahead.
I knew he was gonna come. All right. Thank you, Abby, for joining us. But no, we cannot just not focus on certain things that you said because it's a reality, and the trust is really just out the door for a lot of things. So we have to be skeptical, of who we invite into the house, and who sent you, because we've been down that road with Martin Luther King telling us this and that. So, now, I just think this should be a personal, maybe you should be on the sidelines. I'm a good researcher. I can find some of them places to help Black farmers. We can correlate without you. I mean, this ain't being racist, but at a certain point in time, we got to start looking after ourselves first before we just include people into something that's very important to us. Because it ain't just black and white and just peaches and creams in this world. There's some real wicked people that's running this place. There's some real wicked things that happen. If you, like you say, the people that's controlling the books right now, they're taking us up out of history. Come on, slavery never happened. So like I said, we've been behind with redlining and just unequal, unfair hiring practices. When you go get a loan, there's a lot that's been going against our people. So we just can't sometimes it's hard for us to just get past it. Now, I'm not saying that's all thing to focus on, because we gotta get ourselves in check too, because we go against each other because we've always been divided. House Negro, field Negro, you know what I'm saying? Dark skin, light skin. There's always been a divide between our people. So I'm not saying you're not welcome, but I'm always gonna keep my eye on people. I gotta keep my eye on my own people, let alone people that's on the outside. So I mean, so you're young, and I wish the world was that easy, but but it's not. So we just want our fair shake over here. We done did a lot for this country, So
man, can you tell us?
Let me give it.
Hey, can you tell us? People are asking how to reach you.
DJ, you got to be a good host. When your guests look, I'm not trying to take up. Look, peace and blessings to the audience. I hope y'all learned something. Peace to Baba YASHABIYAH. Hold on, I'm gonna get it right.
YASHABIYAH.
And dang, Genesis, come on. I might well be on Sarnetta. Peace to the panel, Queen 6'2", my wife, Jenny Hayes, the Lions Den. We're going to keep bringing y'all with this hard-hitting information, something to make you think. I'm out. Peace.
I was trying to get you to post your Facebook.
Peace. Your timing is everything when I'm trying to tell you, it's all good. Peace to the
People
brother
are
Jack. I
asking
want
how
to
to
deal
reach
with you
you.
again. Come on, sis. This all this is recorded every time we go on the show. Peace to all the people that's out there listening. And hopefully y'all will correlate with us, you know what I'm saying, and build and start thinking about things as real. You know what I'm saying? I come in the spirit of Shango, so I'm always gonna be that warrior. Peace.
All right. So do you have a Facebook? See, I was trying to get the Facebook so y'all can reach him. Everybody's asking how to reach him. Okay, never mind. So Addie, we didn't get your Facebook real quick. What's your Facebook? How do people reach you, Addie?
I do not
Facebook,
have a
YouTube.
Facebook. I have a Gmail at the moment. I need to get a Facebook set up. I just haven't had time because I'm dealing with
Do
college.
you have like a YouTube or anything like IG or anything like that? If anybody wants to
I'm getting a YouTube channel made. It's just taking some time at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So I was trying to get Mandinka to like do the same thing. All right. So next up, Queen.
Well, there's a lot that I could say, but I'm gonna keep it short, fine, simple, and to the point. There's a lot of work that need to be done. And what I would like to do is more of the action part instead of the talking. I know there's going to be a lot of behind the scene actions going on and conversations. And when it's time, those things will be brought to the forefront so that we can see what the progression is. And if there's any other kind of help that's out there and willing and available to help. If you have any input on this, if you have any suggestions, but we only looking for serious people. We don't want to deal with anyone. If you're not taking it as serious and as passionate that it needs to be taken, then there's nothing that I personally wouldn't be able to do for you. There's a lot that can be done. If you look at one thing on top of the other things, on top of other things, all the dots can actually connect together, but you got to clear the house first. If you clear the house first, you'll start seeing what actually can be done from there. In a situation like this, we got a roundup to do first. When we do our roundup, we put people, places, and things in a better perspective. Then we can set calendars and agendas. And then we can start going to who we need to go to. But if you don't have the right army backing you, if you don't have the right equipment in order to move, and that goes with knowledge, which equals power, we might as well stay where we're at. So if I get involved because I'm involved, we're going to take this all the way to the end. And just like Baba said before, what people don't understand, and a lot of people don't like him, and they won't like him and won't get him, because when you have to be the new muscle in town, people don't like to see that type of change. First of all, they operating off of fear. Next of all, they operating off of emotion. I don't have any of those in me now. Why? Because I'm not just divinely led. I got the Lord sitting to the center of it. And as long as he sit there, that means I'm rolling on go. And go for me means to start action. But in order to start action, you got to put an agenda together. And then we can go. I definitely appreciate you, Jamie. It was nice meeting you. I look forward to actually speaking with you a lot more, because we got a lot more to do. Baba, you already know, me and you are already on the same page. DJ, definitely thank you and appreciate you. Addie, thank you for coming in. And I see Mandinka already left. Wendell, Carrie, everybody in the chat. Rock, we want to thank all y'all for coming out, letting y'all know that this is only going to get bigger, it's going to get better, it's going to get stronger, and the support is where it started at. This is not anything for confrontation. This is not argumentative. This is all about getting to the point and getting the action, getting the pen to the paper, and then the feet to the ground. That's when you move with purpose.
All right, Ashe. So I'm gonna give my little statement. I'm gonna say this. I appreciate everybody for coming up here. I appreciate Mandinka. I appreciate Addie, Queen, Baba, and James. And that's the order that we're gonna do these final sayings. There's a lot going on with the Black farming community. And I think people need to pay more attention to it, because we need to actually find out how to support the Black farmers. I just want to give a shout out to Baba to bringing this to the table along with Queen, because this is all off the radar. No one's thinking about this. Everyone's thinking about P. Diddy and whatever's going on with Nicki Minaj and whatever. But what is our food? We need to eat, right? So what are we gonna do, right? So we have to really pay attention to these things. So I really want to give a shout out to Baba and Queen because this whole thing started off with a live between Baba and Queen, and then now we're here, so, and God has like allowed me to like get a platform and let people like combine and communicate with each other. And I'm glad that how God is moving in this situation. God is moving. The Orishas are moving. Shouts out. This is really about principles of Ifa, but Ifa is really about nature.
That's right.
That's right. You gotta know it.
It's about nature. So we have to take care of nature before we take care of anything. If you can't eat, what are you going to do? Right. So I'm going to let Baba make his word and then give James the final word. Go ahead, Baba.
I want to say Mo Dupe to each and every one of you. I want to thank Brother Jamie. He is a real strong friend of mine. I don't have many friends, but Jamie and I have been working together for a while now in the political field, and I've got to know him and some of his people. I want to say thank you for coming on, taking your time out. I want to thank Queen. Goddess 626. I got to call her Goddess because everybody can be a queen, but to be a goddess, you got to be special. So
you better know.
You got to be special. And to Goddess, DJ, you know how I feel about you because we're in the same family. You know what I mean? We're in the same family. So, but to everybody, this is why it's important. We've got to find better things to discuss rather than the rhetoric that the world is chasing. We got to find a way to save ourselves. It's going to be through collective conscious coming together to create an agenda and create a Pacific track to deal with things. And I'm hearing things already, and I'm hearing what you're saying. But the first thing we got to do, we got to find where the break is and feel make that reconnect. So I want everybody, thank you, Mo Dupe, to you, and we're looking forward to part 2. And our farmers, it's got to be the focal point. So I step back.
Gotcha, Barbara. Big ups, Jamie. Big ups, Jamie.
Okay, here it is. So first off, I'd like to thank, I call him Pop. Y'all call him Baba. When I was introduced to him, he was Pop. So I know who he is, but when I see him in my mind, Pop come to my mind. So I gotta call him Pop. We talk every day. He's a person that, since he's come into my life, I feel that he was a gift, because it's not many people that you can't call and talk to about anything. And when I say anything, I truly mean anything. And if he don't know something about that subject, he is very quick to try to help do a little research to figure out what it is that you're trying to find out from him. He is just easy to talk to. And I, like I said, I thank him for being my friend, because he's definitely my friend. To the panel, Queen, I think you got a new nickname. You need to change that Queen to Goddess, baby.
Goddess?
Yeah, because if you are a strong woman, and I could tell the way you talk, sound, carry yourself, even on stage. All I know is if you got a husband, he got to be a strong fella, because you ain't dealing with no weakling. I can promise you that. He got to be strong. DJ, I thank you, because to do what you do and produce a show, you have to have patience, because I love Mandika's spirit. He's very high strung, and I think me and Pop know a guy that reminds me a lot of Mandika, Pop. He reminds me so much of another guy that me and Pop know, because he's passionate and he's very high strung. And I want to say, as a final note, and I'm not making no excuses for nobody, some of the things that we've done to ourselves as Black farmers have been self-inflicted. So and I'll give you a real life story. we as farmers, that was before I lost my father. We've always worked hard and still work hard, but we know how farm life is. You cannot put off the day for tomorrow in farming. If you got a dry day now and you can work, you better go to work. So this story that I'm gonna tell you is true, but it was one of those real wet springs, and we kind of worked however we could, whether if it was muddy, raining, however, but we got a crop planted. So we ran into another black farmer at the lunch spot, and this was probably in the 90s. Me and my dad was getting lunch, and he came in, and my dad told me, watch this, Junior. He gonna say, it's dry, ain't it? And he ain't got his beans planted yet. And sure enough, it was dry, and he hadn't gotten his beans. But he walked in the door, and he told him, my dad's nickname was Stump. He said, Stump, man, it's dry out there, ain't it? And me and Dad bust out laughing. He said, and Dad told him why we were laughing. He said, I told Jamie that you was gonna say it's dry. And it really is dry. But the moral of that story was, when it was wet and we was out there trying to do what we could to get our beans planted, he was watching it rain instead of trying to plant. So that's why I said some of the things that we deal with are self-inflicted.
That's right. Accountability.
Right. Yes. So, have USDA discriminated on black farmers? Hell yes. Was all of it, every single bit of it, all on USDA? No, not all of it. Some of it was us being lazy. Some of it was us want to use insurance to try to be your income instead of an insurance, because you can't abuse crop insurance and makes things worse for yourself. And not making no excuse for nobody, because I have insurance and use it every year, because there's always something that comes up with farms and insurances. You have rainy seasons, you have dry seasons. So insurance is a tool. It's not used to be your source of income when you farm. And I hope everybody catches that without me having to go into deep details about it.
We got you.
Okay. So with that being said, what I feel like needs to be done in this harmonious group that we just created, I think the first thing we need to do, if we are going to, as a group, try to make a difference, I think the first thing we need to do is maybe do some statistic work with USDA, to where you can request all of the black farmers nationwide from USDA. They have statistics. They'll give us what they got. And I can tell you right now, not all black farmers use USDA, especially if they can't get no money out of that office. Because it was the Farm Bill in 1998. They put in that Farm Bill in 1998 that if USDA had ever lost money from you, you were not eligible to borrow money from them no more. And so that's why that rule, that law right there in 1998 was one of the big reasons why black farmers kind of got wiped off the map.
That's bad.
Well, okay, so let me explain to you, Queen.
Okay.
Let me explain to you. If you have a bad crop and you had borrowed the money from USDA to farm your crop, all right, you paid back what you could, and then you rolled that debt into the next crop, right? Okay, and you went on farmed, and you I'm not gonna say consecutive years, but you may have 2 or 3 years where you got by and you did good, and then you have another bad crop. And so when they roll your debt from that crop where you had a bad crop, it's basically a second note. So you already got your regular farm note where you borrow money to grow the crop, and then you pay it back once you harvest the crop.
Right.
So say it's been 4 years now, and you paid the money back that you borrowed for the farm with, but you hadn't paid off that roll money. And now it's time, you've had a bad crop again. Well, now you got a second roll. So basically, you farming, but you really behind because you ain't caught up from all of the debt that you got in the past. I lived it. It actually happened to me. It happened to me. I was one of the ones that actually got clipped on that 1998 Farm Bill. But what happened to Jamie? I ended up having to pay back every penny that they ever forgave for me that was roll money, simply because when the new Farm Bill came along and you couldn't borrow no money no more, basically the way I had been farming for years on after that was through the bank, not borrowing money from USDA. So, and in the beginning, in 1990, there was James Davis and James Davis Jr., which was my dad and me. There were two separate farms, even though we worked together and it looked like one, but it was two separate farms with two separate crops, with two separate everythings. So when 1998 comes and they come up with this, if USDA had ever lost money on you, you had to be, they wouldn't loan you no more money. I got put out of USDA, and that's when I had to go to private lenders.
Wow.
So long story short, I'm gonna push you to now 2021. My father passed away, and at the time when he passed away, the private lenders wouldn't loan me enough money to be able to merge my farm with my dad's farm. Before my father passed away, my farm was only 500 acres, and my dad's farm was like 1,500. So my dad passed away, and now it's time to merge all of these farms together. And it was going to take a lot of money. The bank wouldn't go private with me and just make a personal loan with me and them to merge these farms. They wanted some help. So what did the bank do? They loaned me the money to pay USDA back the money that they had lost on me, which was never forget it, $138,406.
Yes.
So I paid it back. At the moment I paid it back, they made me eligible again. And that's how now I'm able to borrow basically about $900,000 from them every year. So has USDA wronged a bunch of us? Hell yes. Has they helped a bunch of us? Hell yes.
Yeah.
So it's really and truly a situation where the little eat up the big, just to call a spade a spade. The little eats up the big, because since I started farming in 90, farms has gotten bigger and bigger every single year. And you either gonna get bigger or get rolled over.
Yes,
and that's basically what's been happening over here. And I'm thankful to be that I'm able to continue to get bigger. In 2025 alone, we picked up basically 300 plus acres, and all of 300 plus acres are black owned.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we need to do is get the statistics, know where we got farms at, what we grow. Can we put together co-ops to where we can merge and have one coalition of farmers under one umbrella. It's going to be a tall task, but I can see it being done. You know, I think we're going to have regions just like, you know, we have regions on the map, north, south, east, and west. You know, we all need to register with one another what we're growing on certain times. You know, somebody might have peaches and plums and watermelons and cabbages and cucumber and squash. You know, we just need to, we need to kind of basically register with one another to what we're doing. And once we do that, at that time, then we can address the situation of how can we serve one another?
Right there.
Yeah. All the way down to the banks.
That's right. That's right. It's going to go back to resources.
Yes.
Got to go back to resources.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Make a lot of sense, Jamie. I'm definitely appreciative.
So, you know, I just noticed DJ, we've been calling you DJ all day. And Monica did call you Genesis. But I just noticed the Detroit on the back of your name.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about Detroit, but I love Lake St. Clair.
Well, yeah, listen, Michigan is beautiful. Okay. It's cold as hell.
No. Oh, I know. I'm a bass fisherman. I've driven all the way to
oh, yeah. Oh, Ohio got that bass too. That's where I grew up at high school. Detroit was my second home, but Ohio is like the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I love myself some Lake St. Clair.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So listen, this has been a great show. So what we're going to end it on is with Baba YASHABIYAH's favorite song. That is
money, make it money, make it money.
It's a money manifestation technique, right?
Hey, look, he tell y'all that's his favorite song. That ain't his favorite song. His favorite song is Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City.
Oh,
ain't no love.
You lie to me, Baba. Lie to me about ain't no love in the heart of the city.
That's it.
This is the second song. Okay, this is
look,
the second.
I tell you what. Hey, Genesis, you go and look at some of his lives that he do at home on his political realm on Tallulah Let's Talk, and then come back and tell me what's his favorite song.
I want that. I want to know that. I need to be a part of that one. I want to come and visit you over there.
Hey, tell them why that you like this song so much.
You mean?
Yeah.
It tells the truth about our people. It tells the truth.
No, you said that you went out to a store and people, and after you like listened to it a few times, somebody just gave you some money out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, no, you mean money making money?
Oh, I thought you meant like
no.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. Hope my wife's gonna get mad. We check this out. We've been playing this song, Money Making Money. Well, one time I went out, a guy gave me $60 for a meal, but that ain't the kicker. We sitting at the house, don't know nothing coming, got a letter in the mail. Watch it, guys, watch it. Got a letter in the mail. Now, I opened the letter. It had $11,682. Even I said
$11,682. Was it change on that?
And about 30 cents. I looked at my wife. I said, "This has got to be a scam." She carried to the bank. It wasn't no scam.
They say when they deliver it to you, it don't matter when it come to you. That's all you need to know.
Hey, so we watch all
making money. Look at, and I put
money
that
making money.
I put that patchouli oil on it and rubbed it. Y'all better quit. Y'all better leave me alone.
You better give it up. Give it up. They better give it up. Give it up.
11,000. $680 and change.
Yes.
I'm going like, damn, buddy. And I'm getting a picture of some more on the west. Look out.
You better, hey, Bob, I need some. Tell him to bring it to me, Bob. I'm ready.
Listen, you gotta listen to the song. You gotta really bring it into your life.
I mean, you got to internalize it. Money making money, some bad mantra. You hear me? Ready. You ready? The boss say, drop it, the needle on the thing, let it happen.
I am blessed to make money, money making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm